I just want to be done. I just want to be done with it. I'm tired, boy. I'm so tired doing it. I just want to be done. I don't want any more. I don't want any more. I don't want it.
What's up, everybody? Welcome in to stream. How we doing? What's up? Congratulations to Trombone Dalek. 1 day old and claiming first. Welcome into Splash. Welcome into Sneaky Pigs. Welcome into David. We're glad you're here, folks. Welcome in. That might have been what that soundboard prompt was alluding to, Sneaky. I'll neither confirm nor deny. I would, of course, never begrudge school. Never. School is wonderful. But maybe a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. Maybe just a little bit. Oh, where's Tuna? There it is. Folks, welcome into stream. We got a great stream planned for you today. We are... Oh, I just realized something is not right, and it should be... Whoopsie dupsie. Need my creator dashboard up here in case we need it. We got a great stream today, folks. We're going to be playing... VPN is not handling this stream well. Yeah, VPNs very rarely do. I actually find a VPN to be quite limiting. Quite limiting and annoying. Although we did just overload our encoder, so maybe that has something to do with it, too. Let's turn down the volume a little bit, huh? Actually, the volume looks okay. Was our volume just crazy low? Yeah, it is. It's cranked way down. That's honestly probably fine. But I didn't know that whenever you guys were having the starting soon screen. Okay, my ADD keeps distracting me. TWIG is happening today as soon as we get on the other side of Jeopardy. Following TWIG, we're going to do our song schedule. Following our song schedule, we're going to play True Colors for the rest of stream. For those of you that have not heard... True Colors, we do streamer mode, so you're able to vote. However, we also do streamer mode, and so you're not able to hear the copywritten music, which is 99% of a Life is Strange game. So there's just no music in the game. I thought, surely we'd be okay, and so last week we turned it on for one song. What is up with encoding? Calm down. Calm down, encoder. We're doing fine. Nothing's changed. I turned it off for one song, which was the cover of Radiohead's Creep, and we got dinged on YouTube. So we're leaving it off. Awkward scenes be darned. It's just happening. So we will enjoy the lack thereof music in Life is Strange. I think according to Mayfly, there are no more awkward dance scenes, so at least that won't happen again. But I guess if we see a guitar scene, we'll just skip it from now on, which is a bummer, especially whenever so far vinyls and guitars have been like an influential part of the experience. That's a bit of a bummer, but it is what it is. So that's going to be the rest of our stream this evening, afternoon, whatever in the world. What time is it? Who knows? Who knows what time it is? But yeah, that's our game plan. Twig, song schedule, True Colors for the rest of the stream. And it should be a fun one. Should be good stuff. Folks, if you're not on our Discord, that is actually where I mentioned, I think the last time we got lunch yesterday on the Discord, and I mentioned that we got dinged for a song. So I highly recommend joining us for those lunches. It's really a lot of fun. We have a great crew. It feels like we have anywhere from like 3 to 10 people. And the 10s are like, it's insane. There are so many people in that room. And the 3 people, it's like we get nice conversations going. Pineapple, it's going good. How's it going for you? Are you on the other side of COVID? Are you feeling better? Have you at least been able to spend time in the realm to bring you a little bit of joy? Our Minecraft realm is back up and going, folks. Welcome in, Trombone. Again, congratulations on claiming first. As a 1-day-old, it's very impressive. No, Pineapple! Day 4 of a fever? Oh my goodness. Well, I've been thinking and praying about you. That is no fun. That is no fun. I'm ready for you to be on the other side of it and feeling better, my friend. Trombone, what is that Dalek? Why is it yellow? Oh, it's just a Dalek that's colored yellow. I thought maybe it was a macaroni and cheese Dalek. Oh, I can't get away from it now. I can't get away from it now. Oh no! There it is. With a trombone. I see. And it was designed by Asia. That's fun. I dropped first thing, got distracted, so now I'm back for reals, but also maybe because I still need to leave bed and eat breakfast. I hear that. I've been having Reese's Puffs. Eat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up, beat 'em up. Logged onto the realm for the first time in months yesterday. Pineapple Pope is going crazy. Yes! Pineapple Pope has been going crazy. Here in spirit while I pressure wash. Like for real pressure wash, Christina, or pressure wash simulator? Do your folks have you pressure washing the like driveway or something, or are you playing a game about pressure washing? For real pressure washing at the church. Oh, well, that's fun. It's fun to do it for the church. Are there folks like doing it with you, so it's like a good fun time, or are you just by yourself at the church pressure washing? I'll check out the sidewalks. Just you? Well, good. I'm honored that you have a Twitch stream in, but you're getting paid. Well, that's good. I'll text my dad real quick and say, pay Christina extra, because she's supporting Checkpoint at the same time. Don't have preschool for 2 weeks until summer. Gotcha. I think I'm seeing him on Sunday. I think we're going to come in on Sunday. I don't think we're coming to church, though. But my brother and I... So my brother and I, our birthday are 2 weeks apart from each other. And so... yeah, be careful with what Archie do. This is on church property. Trombone, what are you thinking? I've seen some pressure wash sims, okay? I know what people do. Mamba said you can take care of the double pay. Sounds good. So my brother and I have birthdays that are 2 weeks apart from each other. And so we have like a gap there in between these two times that normally we end up doing a birthday party. So I think that's this Sunday. We're going to get together for my brother's birthday and my birthday. So I'll get to see Jerry. What's up, Cam? How goes it? Look, somehow we got to get these college kids fed, all right? Somebody's got to be paying the college kids. Not that art. I was referring to the account I follow that does legit portraits and such with pressure wash art. I'm sure there are people that take it the profane way, and then there are also people that take it the next level of like, how did you even do that with a pressure washer? How did you create the Mona Lisa in Sidewalk? I promise my mom feeds me. I mean, I believe you, but I mean when you're at college. Look, I've been there. I've been there. I know that life. I have been there. I've been there for those ramen noodle days. Not that ramen noodles aren't delightful. All right, folks, we're going to get into Jeopardy. If you've never played along with our Jeopardy before, I will be reading off the category. I'll be reading off the answer, and you will have the opportunity to earn points based off of correctly responding the fastest. So RIP those with stream delay. And we're going to get right into it. We'll do 2 Jeopardy prompts today, and you can get yourself on the leaderboard. We go for an entire quarter of the year. So until the next Checkathon in August, this will be the leaderboard, so you can get yourself on pretty early this time. So here we go. Rest in peace mobile is what he really means. That too. Our first one's going to be Final Jeopardy. For those of you that don't know how we do that, we RNG the number. So, okay, Google, pick a number between 1 and 20. We'll multiply it by 100 and see how many points this is worth. 11. 1,100 points. 1,100 points. The category is international currency. The answer: Nicaragua's currency is the Cordoba, equal to 100 of these, from the Spanish for 100th part. International currency: Nicaragua's currency is the Cordoba, equal to 100 of these, from the Spanish for 100th part. I also thought pesos. It is not pesos. Happy Pride to you as well, Christina. I don't know any other currency. I would not have gotten this one, but maybe somebody would. Maybe somebody in the chat would. I'm going to give you guys a minute since it seems to be a stumper. So we have until the 4-minute mark. Is it going to wipe the entire chat? Is nobody going to get it? Look, you don't know. Maybe Cam. Cam is a secret international currency expert, all right? I'm counting on it at this point. This is a tough one. Nope. All right, I guess we'll just call it if nobody's got it. If nobody's got it, it is the centavo. The centavo. C-E-N-T-A-V-O. Centavo. Nicaragua's currency. Now you know. You all learned something today. All right, our next one. This one is worth 200 points. 200 points. The category is the Star-Spangled Banner. The answer: they provide a red glare to the battle scene. What provides the red glare? Easy peasy. It is indeed the Rockets. Congratulations, Cam. Is that you on the board? Yes. Welcome to the board. All right. The current leaderboard, top 3. Third place, we have Stained Glass Rebel with 4,600 points. Second place is Sneaky Pigs with 6,500 points. And in first place is Xando Calrissian with 8,500 points. Chats in the clap for all our participants. Good job. Thank you for trying and participating and playing along with our silly Jeopardy game. Folks, with that, we're going to get into TWIG. For those of you that have never been here for TWIG before, this is our weekly geekly news show. It is participatory with the chat, so do not feel the need to hop off. Do not feel the need to oh, well, now he's going to be doing a recorded segment and I'm just going to hop out. No, you can totally participate, totally interact. We love the more interaction that we get out of the chat. So with that, we're going to pause Spoofy. Everybody say bye, Spoofy. And we're going to get right on into TWIG. So stick around and enjoy the show. What is up, everybody? Welcome to The Week in Geek. This is our weekly geekly news show that we do here at Checkpoint Church on our Thursday Twitch stream, twitch.tv/checkpointchurch. This is where we're going to tackle all sorts of geeky headlines that are going on, as well as things from the Discord, as well as some fun facts and a look at the upcoming releases for the week ahead. This is an interactive show, so we always recommend tuning in live on Thursdays on Twitch so that you can participate in the fun stuff that we talk about in chat. I already see Cam is saying hi to YouTube. Everybody else in the chat, if you want to say hi to YouTube, let them know that you're here. And we thank you for watching and joining in with the show. As always, we're going to be starting this one with what did you watch, what did you play, and what did you read this past weekend? So what has been on your kind of docket? What have you been getting into and enjoying? As far as mine, while the chat types theirs in, I've been watching an anime called Heavenly Delusion, also known as Tengoku Damaikyo, and it took a while. It took until like the 8th episode. I've been in since the beginning. Like, I've gotten the show and I'm interested in it. But episode like 8 or something, I figured out one of the secrets of this show. I'm sold. Hook, line, and sinker. I love this show. I'm on board with this show. I'm already writing a nerdy sermon for this Sunday on it. That was all it took. 8 episodes, and then I was like, yep, this is the one for me, and we're going to talk about it. So look forward to that nerdy sermon upcoming this Sunday, and we'll talk more about that show. I'll try and make it as spoiler-free as possible because I have a feeling most of you haven't watched it, which is okay, but we need to talk about why this show is so good. I just started reading for our 1001 Books Challenge. I just started Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring for the first time. So I've seen the movies a bazillion times, but this is the first time actually experiencing the books. And so I've already read The Hobbit, but I had never read Fellowship of the Ring. So now we're getting on into it and seeing how it goes. And what have I played? Well, friends, I've been playing more Tears of the Kingdom. I am at 72 hours in my personal playthrough. 72 hours is so many hours. It's so many hours of this game, and I love it. It's a fantastic game. 10 out of 10 game. I cannot say enough about it. And then some of you who tuned in to our Tuesday night stream know that I'm also playing Pokemon Unite again. I'm not proud about it. It's Jate's fault from Jate Live. Jate got me back into Pokemon Unite, and I'm back into that game as well. I needed a games as service right now to just sink some time into and feel absolutely nothing for. So that's where I'm at. Let's see what the chat is saying. Trombone has been playing Slay the Spire and really enjoying it. Also watched the first 6 episodes of Maid. By the way, Trombone, I did look into the Maid. It is a different iteration. Different authors of the books. So Maid is based off of a book, but not the book that I read. Sneaky Big says, playing lots of Jedi Survivor before Diablo 4 takes over my life. Very cool. Yep, coming out very soon. Pineapple Pope says, watching a video essay about No More Heroes. Very nice. And Wit says, went to a Ren fair over the weekend. I think B-Surfer is going to one this upcoming weekend. And played in the Pokemon trading card game pre-release for Paldea Evolved, Tears of the Kingdom, and Schitt's Creek. Let's see. Unite did go so great. It was fun indeed. Pineapple's asking Sneaky if you got a chance to play Diablo 4. And then Christina says, I've been playing Horizon Zero Dawn, and it just keeps getting better, and playing It Takes Two with a sister. I think that's the best part about It Takes Two, is if you can play it with a sibling or a friend or a spouse or a whoever. That is a really fun game to play with someone, especially. It is kind of the design of the game, hence the It Takes Two. But finding somebody that you know well, that you can laugh with and enjoy that time with, that is crucial to really enjoying that game, which is unique in and of itself. Folks, as you keep trickling in, feel free to drop what you're watching, reading, and playing over in the chat, or we're going to start talking about some headlines, and we can interact to those as well. So our first headline is a bit of a heavy one, but I figured we'd get the heavy one kind of out of the way. So if you've missed out on the news, Lost, specifically the actual show and the drama behind it, has been hitting the headlines recently. There have been some allegations against the showrunners. So Lost co-showrunner Damon Lindelof has acknowledged his failure to provide a safe and comfortable creative environment amidst allegations of racism and a toxic work environment during the filming of the popular TV series Lost. The allegations were detailed in an excerpt from Maureen Ryan's book, Burn It Down: Power, Complicity, and a Call for Change in Hollywood, which was recently featured in Vanity Fair. The charges included racial bias in writing, with actor Harold Perrineau noting his concerns about how his character was treated on the show. For those of you that watch Lost, that is Michael from seasons 1 and 2. An anonymous writer for the series claimed there were instances of dismissive attitudes towards characters of different racial backgrounds. The environment in the writer's room was described as cruel, and even one of the writers for the 3rd season reporting of perhaps some firing based off of anyone accusing Lindelof of racism. Lindelof and Carlton Cuse, the other co-showrunner, have responded. Lindelof has been very filled with regret and acknowledges this and is confused about some of the recountings, doesn't necessarily affirm all of the stories, but definitely affirms this feeling of guilt and this feeling of regret for history. I think that, and then Cuse, on the other hand, has just denied all of it. An interesting news story and an interesting piece if you've been keeping up with it. I think that anytime we have a book like this that is released, there's going to be kind of a tell-all expose of the behind the scenes. It does make me sad that it's featured around a show that I sort of love in the form of Lost, and certainly in a director and show writer that I very much love in Damon Lindelof. I think that Lindelof is an excellent writer and has seemed to be a very good person and a positive force for change. So this is a bummer to hear this of him. I am, however, conflicted in the sense that we have our rules here, right? Do good, do no harm, strive to grow at Checkpoint. And it sounds like Lindelof at least acknowledges and in a form of Christian confession has kind of moved on to a space of regret, confession, and hopefully forgiveness from the community. So it'll be interesting to see what Lindelof continues to do and how he continues to kind of meet in the middle and hopefully make amends for this, because I definitely want to see Lindelof continue to create, because I think he's a great creator, and definitely has been someone on a positive end of change, even highlighting Juneteenth and in some of his shows and productions that he's made. So it'll be interesting to see how this goes. If you're more curious about the book and the excerpts from it, the book comes out on June 6th, so only a couple more days. Burn It Down, Power, Complicity, and a Call for Change in Hollywood by Maureen Ryan might be worth checking out. No doubt in my mind that this book is accurate in the sense there is a lot of change needed and evolution needed in Hollywood and in the writing community. But I'm interested to hear your thoughts here. Those are my kind of thoughts of, I think that this is probably for the good and hopefully is a way of doing less harm in the future. And as Christians, we should do what we can to be as forgiving to those that are certainly seemingly repentant as Damon Lindelof has been in this story so far. We'll see where it continues to go from here. Sneaky says, I'll have to follow up on this because Lost is my favorite show. Curious to see where this goes. I'm in the same spot. I really am conflicted in a lot of ways with this one. Next up, Sega has announced a Sega showcase, mostly featuring things from Yakuza Like a Dragon. They announced the RGG Summit Summer 2023, set to take place on June 15th, so just 2 weeks from today, where fans expect to hear more from Like a Dragon 8. The showcase will be hosted by Ryoga Gotoku Studio, the developer behind the Yakuza franchise. Although Sega has yet to disclose how fans can tune in, the event is likely to be streamed on Twitch, as it was last year. Last year's event did reveal some pretty exciting things from Like a Dragon 8, with the confirmation that Kiryu will be returning, and even teasing a early 2024 release window. However, it's kind of been radio silence since then. It also teased a spin-off, Like a Dragon Gaiden, The Man Who Erased His Name. So we'll see if we get a confirmed date or any information as Sega continues to move forward on this showcase. Only 2 weeks out, so hopefully we'll get some pretty big announcements for the beginning of 2024, maybe even a holiday release schedule 2023. I'd be surprised, but you never know. It is Yakuza, and they're kind of off the wall. Next up, Keanu Reeves, his band did reunite recently, and he lived his best Johnny Silverhand life. Keanu Reeves, well known for his role as Johnny Silverhand, the rock star from Cyberpunk 2077, has reunited with his 90s rock band Dogstar to perform at the 2023 Bottle Rock Napa Valley Music Festival. This marked their first public performance in over 2 decades, and they actually did release a couple of albums and EPs back in the 90s before disbanding in 2002, and then they did perform to warm crowd responses here at this Napa Valley Music Festival. Pretty interesting to see. Not really a news story so much as just kind of a little fun fluff piece. I didn't know that Keanu had a band, and I certainly didn't know that they had actually made albums. So look up Dogstar, see if you can find them on Spotify, and give them a listen to see exactly what their sound is, and if it sounds anything like Johnny Silverhand. It certainly seems like Keanu is a better person than Johnny Silverhand, so that's good at the very least. Next up, Madden. They are working on a Madden movie, in case you hadn't heard. Will Ferrell is actually in talks to join forces with the director David O. Russell from Silver Linings Playbook, American Hustle, Amsterdam, for a biopic titled Madden, which will follow the life of legendary football coach and commentator John Madden, and also video game icon John Madden, according to Deadline. Ferrell is reported to be considering the role of Madden himself, focusing on his journey from sports commentary to the incredible success of the Madden NFL video game series. The biopic will narrate Madden's role in co-creating Electronic Arts' Madden NFL, which has since emerged as one of the most profitable video game franchises worldwide. Screenplay is being penned by Cameron Clark and is expected to be distributed via Amazon and MGM, though we haven't had any official confirmation there. So I don't really have a connection to the Madden games or to John Madden himself, but I find the whole idea of telling that story fascinating, like I did with the Tetris story. So I'll definitely watch it if this happens. I think Will Ferrell is a bizarre choice, but hey, to each their own. I do think David O. Russell is a great call for the director. So we'll just kind of see where it goes from here. And I think that David O. Russell would work well with Will Ferrell in this role. So time will tell who ends up in this Madden movie, or if this Madden movie ends up happening, but I'll definitely be keeping an eye out as we go forward. Next up, the Gollum devs, Lord of the Rings Gollum, did release last week to critical panning, and they have actually written an apology since then, and then also announced that they're working on a new game. Following the release of the long-awaited and poorly reviewed The Lord of the Rings Gollum, Daedalic Entertainment is reportedly working on another game based on the Lord of the Rings franchise. The new project is codenamed It's Magic and is believed to spotlight the iconic wizards of the series. The game reportedly introduces a perspective from an unexplored character in the Lord of the Rings universe. Players will discover entirely new regions, their actions and abilities will significantly influence the world around them, and this game is expected to release in the latter half of 2024. However, after the launch and subsequent negative reviews of Lord of the Rings Gollum, Daedalic Entertainment has a significant task ahead of them in restoring the confidence of the player base. They're not going to do it. Critics roundly panned Gollum, with IGN's review giving it a score of 4, criticizing its plot and technical issues, which again, they did apologize, promising a patch, but if you've seen this game, there's only so much patching you can do. The game's just bad. Plain and simple, it's just not a good game. There's nothing you can patch out. It's not the glitches and the errors. It's the game itself that is the problem. Let's work our way back to Will Ferrell here, because I see some comments in the chat. Sneaky says, I can't see Ferrell as Madden, and I also don't know who else I would pick. Christina says, I can't decide if you would or wouldn't want him to play you in a biopic. Exactly, yeah. It's a bit of a weird choice. Okay, now back to Lord of the Rings. Cam says, Lord of the Rings Gollum is technically a video game. Indeed. Sorry for this horrible game, says Sneaky. And by the way, we're making another game. Hopefully it'll be good. It will not, and it cannot, and I don't even know. I think it's gonna happen, but I'm not gonna lie. That game and this subsequent game potentially that will come out, they remind me of like copycat games, of like shovelware games of the early 2000s. So we'll see what continues to come out of this and if anything happens, but I have a feeling the game is going to happen because I think it's fully funded, and we'll just see. Next up. Yeah, how did they not shut down after Gollum is beyond you. I agree, Mayfly. Next up, Stranger Things Chrissy, also known as Grace Van Dyne, also known as Blue File or Blue Fie, I can't remember how to pronounce her Twitch channel, just joined FaZe Clan, believe it or not. Grace Van Dyne, recognized for her role in Stranger Things Season 4, has recently joined FaZe Clan and is using her online streaming platform to promote the interest of female gamers in the industry. Van Dyne, known as Blue Fie, I don't know how to pronounce it, of her Twitch, also known as that as her from her Twitch audience. I'm going to start over. Van Dyne, known as Blue Fie to her Twitch audience, is determined to create lasting change for female gamers in the industry, as stated in her initial announcement. In contrast to the traditional acting roles that she's been involved in, streaming allows her to control her own narrative. Streaming, she says, empowers her to choose what she discusses on each day's stream, despite having overshared at times. She appreciates that it's her choice to disclose information. That was written by ChatGPT. I don't know if I agree with that stance. I don't know that oversharing is fair. Van Dyne admits she's been caught off guard. This is more fair. Caught off guard when casual comments made during streams have made headlines, like when she discussed becoming more selective with film roles due to an unwanted sexual advance from a producer. Nevertheless, she believes that the transparency in what women experience in the industry is essential. Van Dyne regards her fellow streamers Valkyrae and Pokimane as inspirations who have openly spoken about their struggles within the community. She appreciates that in the streaming world, unlike the acting world, there isn't as much fear about speaking out because you are your own boss. In addressing misogyny, Van Dyne suggests that organizations like FaZe Clan and companies like Twitch can assist by condemning misogynistic behavior and elevating female creators. Streaming, she believes, offers an opportunity to break down barriers between the audience and the public figure. She says getting to know the community while allowing them to get to know you is a significant aspect of growing creatively. I did highlight this partially just because I think it's cool that a Stranger Things star is streaming, and because people like Christina maybe have not heard about that. I followed her pretty quickly whenever the show came out, because it was around then that she kind of popped up around saying that she was on Twitch. I'm not sure how much before that she started Twitch, but I don't think it was too far before. And yeah, I've tuned into her channel a couple times. It's great stuff. It's very par for the course of what you're expecting whenever you go to a major streamer like that, playing the trending games and having a good time with them. But very cool of her to see this. Very cool of FaZe Clan to welcome in another female voice, especially in the kind of misogyny that takes place in the video gaming scene and the streaming scene. It was a good thing, I think, all around. I see this as an overall good. Hopefully some good stuff keeps coming out of this, and we'll see more news like this from her, addressing these things and being a positive figure in the streaming community. And maybe even FaZe Clan kind of taking a reboot and becoming more along the lines of a 100 Thieves company, and maybe losing some of their past history of not such great stuff. Yeah, Cam says also followed, and Sneaky says I'm still struggling with the fact that she's Casper Van Dyne's daughter. Yeah, there's definitely like the Hollywood hierarchy and historicity and lineage that keeps happening is still freaking me out as well. Especially as you learn people that are related to people that are related to people. So always fun stuff, but that's a good story, an interesting story, and one that I'd love to hear more thoughts on in the comments if you're watching later on YouTube or here in the chat. Next up, Minecraft has announced their next expansion with a release date of June 7th for its 1.20, 1.20 Trails and Tales update. This update, which emphasizes self-expression through representation, storytelling, and world building, introduces new mobs and blocks, as well as alterations that enhance storytelling. In the upcoming Trails and Tales update, players can look forward to the addition of the long-awaited camel, which is capable of carrying 2 riders, and also a new character of the Sniffer, a gentle giant that was chosen by the community during Minecraft Live 2022. Also announcing 2 new wood sets, Bamboo and Cherry, that are going to be included, with Cherry being found in the new Cherry Grove biome. Also, archaeology, the primary new mechanic in the update, allows players to dig through sand to discover tools and pottery pieces, which can then be assembled. Armor trims for customization, hangable signs, playable mob sounds, and a special type of bookshelf for storing enchanted books are among the minor updates that are going to be introduced in this new version. I am especially glad that Christina was here for this one so that I can tell her about Minecraft, because one of our resident Minecraft experts, maybe Splash is still around in Pineapple Pope, who maybe already heard about this as well. But yeah, lots of stuff happening there. A pretty exciting update in Trails and Tales, again, coming out on June 7th. So should be fun to see what comes out of that. I'm always excited for the new animals. I don't know what the Sniffer looks like, but I do know what a camel looks like. And that makes me very excited that we have a two-rider camel coming out in the next update. And I always appreciate new wood types because it means it's time to build another house. With that, do let me know if you think about anything from those articles. There was quite a few this time, maybe some fluffy ones in there, but still some exciting news pieces. And as always, this is what we do every single week at The Week in Geek, is talk about the latest trending stories that we find out there. But sometimes we miss some, and so we have to go to the Discord. If you want to submit news to our channel here on Weekly Geekly News Show Twig, then you can submit them to bit.ly/DearTwig, DearTwig, or you can always go over to our Discord channel, Discord server, and utilize any of those channels to post the latest news in. I scroll through those throughout the week and try and get the best articles or articles that are submitted to me to highlight over the course of the next week. The first one of those was actually submitted by one who is in the chat, or was in the chat earlier. This was submitted by Cam or Humar Wet. Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings has started to reveal the cards. Wizard of the Coast revealed more than 120 cards from the upcoming Magic the Gathering Lord of the Rings Tales of Middle-earth, so many colons, set during this week's weekly MTG live stream. The collection will include cards from every Magic the Gathering color and card type. The set's sole mechanic, the ring tempts you, provides a creature the status of ring bearer, allowing it to gain abilities when a card contains that phrase. Additionally, 2 mechanics from previous Magic sets will also be incorporated: Amass, which creates and empowers a creature token, and Sagas, enchantments that perform actions and eventually get sacrificed. The cards in the set are obviously based off of the book version of J.R.R. Tolkien's famed trilogy and feature original artwork that captures scenes from the books. Some cards can be arranged even to form panoramic views of pivotal moments, such as an 18-card display of the Battle of Pelennor Fields. So, pretty cool stuff, pretty exciting stuff. If you're a fan of Magic the Gathering, if you're a fan of Lord of the Rings, then it sounds like you have got the perfect thing. You can see one of the panoramic card examples of Gollum reaching after the ring, but of course, an 18-card panoramic is pretty insane. So we'll see how they continue to debut those. If you want to check out any of the links from the 120-card release, then you'll be able to see even more cards that were announced from this set. Next up, we have some news from B Surfer. Netflix has confirmed the much anticipated season 6 of Black Mirror is set to debut in 2 weeks on June 15th, including releasing a new trailer for the show. I'm not going to break that down any further because I want you to experience it for yourself, but I will highlight some of the actors that are going to be featured in this season because there are some big names that I'm excited to see. We have Selma Hayek. You have Maisie Day, you have Annie Murphy, you have Aaron Paul, you have Michael Cera. The cast is already looking stacked for this next season, and I'm super excited to see what happens with this latest season of Black Mirror. Black Mirror is one of my favorite shows out there, along with Love, Death, and Robots, and so any of those kind of anthology, demented messes of shows I absolutely love. Next up, just kind of another fluffy one in there. Another one by B Surfer. Martin Scorsese, a famed director who does not like Marvel movies, recently announced that he's developing a movie about Jesus after having a meeting with Pope Francis. The news was shared during a conference organized by the Jesuit publication La Civiltà Cattolica and Georgetown University following Scorsese's encounter with the Pope. Scorsese said, "I've responded to the Pope's appeal to artists in the only way I know how, by imagining and writing a screenplay for a film about Jesus, and I'm about to start making it. The film, currently untitled, is possibly Scorsese's next venture after the critically lauded Killers of the Flower Moon." The director didn't have much information about the upcoming film during the Global Aesthetics of the Catholic Imagination Conference, which is apparently a thing. But this could be his next, maybe an iteration of The Last Temptation of the Christ, which, of course, he directed back in 1988, which starred Willem Dafoe as Jesus. We shall see what comes of this and what information might possibly happen. I don't know where this came from, why this is happening, or what Scorsese is thinking. I feel like The Temptation of the Christ is probably the big one to make. I don't know what he would continue to tell. Maybe just remake it again or tell a different story. I can't imagine what other story you're going to tell about Jesus. It's kind of the whole thing. So go figure, but we shall see what Scorsese does with this one. With that, again, if you would ever like to submit news, bit.ly/DearTwig, DearTwig, to submit news, or just use our Discord server and you'll find all the things that you want to find there. With that, it's time for everybody's favorite part of the show.
At this point in nerd history.
That's right, it's everything that was released on this day throughout nerd history, as well as some random ones thrown in there that are just vaguely nerdy. So we'll start with movies, some movies that were released on June 1st throughout time and space. Back in 2018, Upgrade was a movie about a guy that got video game-esque upgrades done to his body. 2012, Snow White and the Huntsman. Those are the only 2 movies that I could find throughout time and space. However, video games, we have some big ones, but we got to take a pretty big jump. For video games, on June 1st in 2018, the somewhat meta fourth wall breaking video game Doot Stop was released. And then we got to jump back in time quite a ways to get to some big old games. 1999, Pokemon Snap released in America for the Nintendo 64. 1998, Nintendo released the Game Boy Camera and Game Boy Printer in America. Who have those in the chat? Because oh man, did I love the camera game. It was so weird and I was here for it. 1995, the cult classic RPG Earthbound, otherwise known as Mother, is released in America on the SNES. 1991, Nintendo announces that the Super Famicom will be released in America under the name of Super Nintendo Entertainment System at CES in Chicago. 1991, we discovered we'd be getting the SNES. Pretty crazy. Some random news in there, not really related to anything in particular, is that in 1980, the cable news network, otherwise known as CNN, made its debut as the first all-news station on television. 1961, radio listeners in New York, California, and Illinois were first introduced to the FM multiplex stereo broadcasting system. A year later, this became the FCC standard. And then in 1954 was whenever Linus first debuted his security blanket in the Peanuts comic strip. With that, these are all of your fun moments throughout time and history. I hope that you enjoyed.
At this point in nerd history.
Okay, now we're going to go into our next segment of the show, the penultimate segment of the show, the upcoming releases for the week. We'll start with movies that are coming out this week. Padre Pio, which is a movie that has maybe flown under your radar. It's pretty indie, but I thought it was interesting because it's a new Shia LaBeouf film. And anytime you get a Shia LaBeouf film, I like to highlight it just because I think he is a fantastic actor and seems to focus on movies that kind of skirt under the news. And so I like to highlight them here. Another one coming out tomorrow, of course, is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Who's excited? Who's going to go see Spider-Man? And then also coming out tomorrow is The Boogeyman, which just looks like another spooky movie. With that, we're going to get into TV shows. TV shows coming out on the 5th is a show called Stars on Mars. I don't know anything about that show. I have no idea if it's even still happening, but it was on IGN, so I thought I'd mention it here. Apparently, it's a show in which they put stars on a fake Mars and see how they'll survive. That's it. Okay. Games coming out. We're actually going to skip a pretty big game that is coming out tomorrow because we have a special segment, but I will get into the games that are coming out other than the one that you think. First off, coming out today is April's Diary, which is a match 3 kind of iOS looking game. A lot of VR games coming out. Battle Talent is a VR physics combat game. Budget Cuts is a VR stealth game. Also coming out today is Driftwood, which is a sloth longboarding game. If you've never heard of Driftwood, Jate played it during Next Fest, and it was pretty interesting to see. I can't imagine it being fun for much more than like an hour or two, but neat enough. The Game Grumps have made another video game, so if you know Game Grumps, if you know Aaron and Dan, they are some of my favorite YouTubers out there. They've made some games a la Dream Daddy. It was a pretty big game they made not too long ago. They're making a horror game this time called Homebody, kind of a stealthy horror. I don't even know what it's going to be about yet. Don't know if I'll play it. I might just watch somebody play it, but I like the Game Grumps and thought it'd be fun to highlight them. A VR slasher game called Killer Frequency drops today. Tail Quest Defense, which looks like a tower defense game a la Cat Quest. And then this is, Slayer's X, Terminal Aftermath, Vengeance of the Slayer. Another one that has way too many colons. And then tomorrow we have Super Mega Baseball 4. Yeah, Super Mega Baseball 4. Also coming out tomorrow is We Love Katamari Reroll plus Royal Reverie. If you've never played Katamari games, talk to me. I love those games. I will play them for you. I'll play them on stream. Heck yes, I would love to play a Katamari game. Coming out on the 3rd, Myth, Gods of Asgard, which looks like a hack and slash roguelite game. Of course, on the 6th, Diablo 4 will be coming out. It's really funny. I've been I've been putting in upcoming releases in parentheses what the games are so that I'm able to describe them well. And I put in something for Diablo 4 like I don't know what Diablo is. Yeah. VR party brawler is what I said there. And then Quantar is also coming out on the 6th. Now, one more. We also have some DLC coming out this week. On the 5th, The Elder Scrolls Online Necrom Shadow over Morrowind is also coming out. So for ESO Online, that will be redundant, for ES Online folks. That you might want to know about. With that, we're going to get into our special segment here. We have one last game announcement, as well as someone that's trying to sell you on why you should be playing the latest entry into the Street Fighter universe. Enjoy Street Fighter 6, sold to you by the one and only Xando Calrissian.
That's right, Street Fighter 6 releases tomorrow. And I know what you're thinking. I've never played Street Fighter before. Or, there's no way I can keep up with the people who've been playing for years. Can I possibly have fun playing Street Fighter these days? Sure you can! No? Anyway, Street Fighter 6 is great for new fighters and veteran fighters. There's an excellent training mode that will give you tips and tricks for every characters and offer advice on how to play them, as well as letting you know when you should use certain moves. There's World Tour Mode, a new single-player story where you can create a character and mold the game to you, and will teach you some of the ins and outs of the new mechanics in the game. And if that's not enough, there's even classic, modern, and dynamic controls to give you a competitive edge even if you've never played a fighting game before. They say the best time to plant a tree is 100 years ago, but the second best time is now. The same applies to fighting games. Well, maybe not the 100-year thing, but now is a great time to play. You can learn the new mechanics and characters along with the best of us. Get in on the fighting game floor and play Street Fighter 6. The demo is available now if you want to try it for free. I'll see you in the Battle Hub.
There we go. I hope that you enjoyed that little display from the one and only Xando. I thought that was super fun. I thought he did a great job. Chats in the clap to Xando for selling us on Street Fighter 6. Street Fighter 6 does drop tomorrow on all major gaming platforms, and Xando is so excited about it, and I feel like nobody else is, and I want people to be excited for Xando. So I thought I'd reach out to Xando and see if he wouldn't put that together for us so that he could sell us on this game and why we should be playing it. So be sure to let him know over in our Discord, Discord, why you think it worked and how excited you are for that game after his wonderful selling of it and his pun-filled display of all sorts of Street Fighter bizarre. I'm looking forward to at least giving it a try because Xando is so excited for it. I'm sure we'll end up probably playing it next Tuesday, maybe in the midst of Unite as well, but should be fun. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. I hope that it does really well. I'm hearing good things. I think it's doing well as far as reviews are concerned, so I have no real fear for Street Fighter, but appreciate Xando for putting that out there for us. So do let me know in the chat, did any of those games interest you, excite you? Do you think you'll want to be playing any of those? I'm sure Diablo is probably the big one that everybody's going to be focusing on, so be sure to get excited about all the games that are coming out. This is a big week for movies and video games. This is a huge month, folks. June is a gigantic month. We will be guiding you through it here at TWIG, so be sure to tune in every single Thursday for TWIG, where we'll guide you through the upcoming releases as well as all the other wonderful segments of our show. With that, we're going to wrap this one up with our final segment, of course, our Meme of the Week. Meme of the Week this week is from the one and only Splash Force, in which he made this wonderful display, or found this wonderful meme online of the Ultra Hand ability from The Legend of Zelda Tears of the Kingdom, gluing together a cut-in-half PS5 controller to a screen, obviously poking fun at Project Q's announcement at the PlayStation showcase last week. It looks laughably bad, and this meme highlights it perfectly. So thank you to Splash for sending that our direction. It is so good. Absolutely perfect meme. 10 out of 10 memes. We love it. With that, folks, we're going to wrap up the Weekend Geek. This is our weekly Geekly News show that comes out every single Thursday, twitch.tv/checkpointchurch. Join us during the mornings. Tune in, interact with the chat, or if you can't, then you can always tune in on YouTube. Folks, say hi, YouTube, in the chat as we close this one out. If you are watching on YouTube and you did watch this far into the show, that means you probably liked this one. So hey, maybe give us a like. Click that like button. Thumbs up. Let me know that this is the kind of show that you enjoy and you want to see more of. Or if you're listening to this on our podcast feed, then maybe go find us on YouTube and click a like there. Leave a comment down below so that we can get boosted and seen by more people. We appreciate you taking time out of your busy weeks to join us on these Weekend Geeks. We hope that we're able to give you the news and the things that are happening in the nerd world in less than an hour every single week in exciting ways like this. With that, we're going to end this video as we always do with our 3 things that we believe to be true about every single one of you out there, regardless of whether or not you believe in God, don't believe in God, go to church, don't go to church. We still believe these 3 things to be true about every single one of you listening to this on YouTube, whether you're listening now on Twitch, whether you're listening on our podcast feed. We believe that number 1, God loves you, like really, really loves you. Number 2, we love you. We want community with you. That's what we're doing here on Twitch and on this podcast and on Discord and on YouTube, all these spaces. Number 3, we believe that you, yes, you matter. You are a person of sacred worth. The world is a better place. Why? Because you are in it. Folks, with that, until the next time that I see ya, bye-bye! And welcome back to Twitch. How are we doing, folks? How are we feeling? How are things going? Did you enjoy the Zando segment? I thought it was great. I thought he did such a good job. Thought he killed it. I gotta go find... Where's my guitar cord? There it is. We've got to do our song schedule for the week. So I'll try and come up with more things like that to do in the future. Try and bring in members of the community, especially those that are of the wacky variety like Zando, who would be willing to present things like that throughout the week, especially whenever we have things that folks are excited for, you know? Oh, I didn't make the schedule. Oh, phooey. Well, I got to do that. Hang on. It's the same every week. I don't know why I change it. I only need to change it if we have to change it, but for some reason I change it every single week. Well, let me make the schedule and then put it on the screen, and then we'll do our recording here. It's week 23. Week 23 of the year. How can that be, dude? We just talk about that? Like, it does not feel like we're already 23 weeks deep. But we are. Okay, I think that's everything in order as it ought to be. Pretty normal week for us next week. Some Dave Matthews. I've already got the song, but if you'll remind me like Thursday morning, if you'll send me a message next week, Thursday morning, that's how I'll remember. My brain don't work good. Why did it download twice? Yeah, that looks right. Everything looks right. Okay. Let's see. Let's pause Spoofy. Get a quick little sound check. Make sure we sound good here. I think we're out of tune. We sound like just enough out of tune. That's fine. Let's just make sure the level's fine. I think it's going to be too loud. That sounds fine. That sounds fine. Okay, we're gonna get right into it. So we'll start our ways we usually do. So I asked ChatGPT to write a parody song based off of the top 100 songs on Ultimate Guitar, based off of our song schedule. Where is it this side? Song schedule, because it can be boring to see this image and to not read it. So instead, I thought it'd be fun to have ChatGPT write a parody song for us. Sometimes they're really good, sometimes they're just all right, and sometimes they're just real bad toilet garbage. So this time I asked it, and the song that it chose is Hey There Delilah by the Plain White Tees, and this is our song schedule. So we'll see how it goes and how ChatGPT did this week. Let us know down in the comments if you're watching this on YouTube how you think ChatGPT did this week, how the lyrics are, if they made any sense, and hopefully you enjoy. Hey there, dear viewer, what's it like in your home city? I'm streaming miles away, but I hope my stream is pretty. Yes, it's true. On Sunday, heavenly delusions in view. I swear it's true. Hey there, dear viewer, don't you worry about the distance. Monday's cassette beast on Twitch, it's a fun, persistent, close your eyes. Listen to the game sounds, they're my disguise, I guess. I'm by your side. Oh, it's what you do to me. On Tuesday, we're on Twitch TV. Oh, it's what you do to me. Wednesday, we're on a Discord spree. What you do to me. 1,000 miles seems pretty far, but we've got Twitch and Discord, our bar. I'd stream for you if there's no other way. Our friends might all poke fun at us, but we'll just laugh along because we know that none of them have streamed this way. Viewer, hey, I promise you that by the time this week is through, the gaming world will never be the same. You're to the game. And oh, it's what you do to me. On Thursday, we'll wake with Nate, you'll see. Oh, it's what you do to me. Life is strange, you'll appreciate what you do to me. Yeah! You know, pretty good. Pretty good, ChatGPT. Definitely some weird lines in there, and I don't like Life is Strange, you'll appreciate what you do to me. Not a fan. Not a fan there. As Mayfly said, creeped out. Creeped out just a little bit by that one. Creeped out. I never plugged in. Are you kidding me right now? All right, well, hopefully that sounded good. I swear I was plugged in. That's really funny. Okay. So there we go, folks. That is our song schedule of the week. We're going to take a quick 3-minute break. And then whenever we hop back in, we're going to get right into Life is Strange True Colors. So help us make decisions. Help us make decisions. We have voting mode enabled. So you will be able to help us decide what to do in the wonderful life of the characters of Life is Strange True Colors. I have never played it before, so no spoilers. We're entering into that space as well. And we'll have fun. We'll have a good time with it. They would not allow us to play that cover because it was too good. Sounded too much like the original song. But yeah, we'll be back in 3 minutes. Do take a break, stretch your legs, rest your eyes, get a snack, do whatever you gotta do. Get away from a screen for just a second. This is a healthy streaming habit that we take as a streaming entity, as well as a viewer and a chatter. We want you to take a break as well so that you can rest your body, rest your mind, rest your eyes, give yourself a little time away. I'll see you back here in 3 minutes. See you soon. Friend or foe? Friend or foe? Foe. Why are they always foes? Oh, perfect. It's not beans. It is a little slip of paper. What? What a way to end stream! What a way to end stream! Do you guys want to know what Zando just pulled? Zando, there's only one of these. Out of all of the things in the bucket, there's only one. It was total luck. My friend, you have just earned yourself the exclusive Discord role of Gotcha King. Wow! Chats in the clap for Zando, the Gotcha King. You officially have a new role, a title in our Discord of Gotcha King. Only one. Big stuff, the Gotcha King Zando. We'll implement your role here in the next little while, hopefully by tomorrow at the latest. And wow, what a way to end stream, yo! This is super exciting. Wow. So this would have been 2011. I was cast as Mr. Body in Clue. That was a lot of fun. It's a great show. The second time I had to die on stage in a show. Something about this face people just want to kill. People want to see this face die. I don't know what it is. Yeah, see, they're big old boys, huh? One hitters. We're just fine with that. Oh, not one hitters. Not one hitters. They're not, in fact, one hitters. They are sometimes two. But it don't mean a thing if it ain't got that ring.
Winner, winner, chicken dinner. I just beat you in Fortnite, master of the mystic arts.
Victory is mine.
Kayaba. Does make sense. But I did definitely forget. Oh my goodness! I am so far away from you! Stop targeting me. Off we go into the wild blue yonder. Whoa, 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 whoa! That is a shiny! That is a shiny alpha! Are you kidding me right now? Please let me save! Please let me save! I need to save right now! Are you kidding me? That is a shiny alpha Vulpix! Neo! Oh! What is happening? That is so lucky! That is so incredibly lucky! Okay, that's fine. Whoa! Alright, alright. We got this. Okay. Whoa. Welcome back, welcome back, welcome back. How we doing, folks? Alright, we're getting back right into Life is Strange True Colors. Thank you for your alert, Cam. And also for Christina. Absolutely, let's make a... Be sad if your phone doesn't let you vote. It might not. I hope it does, but it might not. We did have issues with that last week. So I don't know what more I can do on that end. This game about to be so quiet. About to be the quietest game we've ever experienced. If you've never played a Life is Strange game, this is a game where you make a whole lot of choices, and some of them are good, some of them are bad, some of them are sad, some of them are difficult to make, and some are just goofy. But we should have a good time playing it nonetheless, and I'm looking forward to getting back into it. I'm going to make sure all the settings carried over as far as live stream. Crowd choice is on. Full democracy is on. Poll timer is 30 seconds. Muting licensed music is on. We're going to get right back into the story. I almost wish it did recaps. Also, I say that because I have major T-Swift updates. Well, I need to know. What are we doing? Is Matty Healy officially a thing? It's hard since I played this game and want to go the way I played it, like with the kid you blew up. He's fine, Mayfly.
Stop that. You need to take care of yourself.
He's fine,
Got
okay?
Matt patched up. Let's take a look at you now. Oh, looks pretty nasty right about here.
Okay, so to catch us up on what just happened, since it didn't, I thought it might. We are an empath who does occasionally have some flare-ups of relating to the emotions of others, to the sense that we embody the character. We embody the emotion of the character that we're empathizing with. And so we've just moved back from our, like, orphanage that maybe is a like foster home that definitely took care of us mentally because we have some issues. And we also have a long lost brother who we have returned home to. I'm not explaining this well. We are an empath. We do not have parents. Our brother is living in a like commune. We were staying at a foster home orphanage place getting mental help. Now we have moved to this commune to live with our brother. We got there. We're looking around. This guy comes up to our brother, says that his girlfriend, fiance person is cheating with our brother. We get a little upset about it. We get frustrated. We freak out. We end up punching the person and also punching our brother. And now we are making up for it. And Sneaky did comment on the fact that, yes, indeed, we did send a child, perhaps to be blown up. We didn't want to rat on a kid, okay? We didn't want to rat on a kid. A kid wanted to go play, and so we chose not to say anything because he wants to go play. And then we might have learned that they're doing some explosions tonight in some of the caves. And, it's gonna be fine. Christina, T-Swift update. Okay, they've been together. We've accepted this, but we got a breakup song for Joe. A new song? Oh, no. We beat up a guy, blew up a kid, and went to a weird silent dance party. Also, yes, the music we cannot play, and so there's a strange level of, like, awkwardness. You learned of the explosion before the kid. I didn't put them together, though, Mayfly. And also, there is crowd choice turned on. So you are the people that are voting for what happens, so I am not culpable at all. She released a new exclusive CD for Midnights that has a new song on it no one has heard before. It's not on streaming. People have uploaded it, so I've heard it. Let me just say, it is wild. Christina, no. The song is called You're Losing Me, and in my opinion, it's the most heartbreaking one yet. Well, You're Losing Me, in and of itself, sounds very sad. Draws parallels to all 5 albums of songs about Joe. No! Oh, that's so sad. You made that choice. Sneaky owns it. Sneaky's willing to be responsible, to be the adult in the room.
You made it. Charlotte, right? I'm sorry you had to see that fight. What a terrible first impression.
So speaking of Life is Strange and Taylor Swift in the same sentence together, Christina says there's a line that says, I wouldn't marry me either. Folks, Taylor Swift needs someone to talk to that is not famous. I don't know who that person is. I'm not saying therapy necessarily, but maybe therapy. But definitely, the whole she probably is in therapy. She needs to have somebody to talk to vent these things because the wouldn't marry me either. I'm the problem, it's me. All this mentality stuff. Ugh. It breaks my heart to think of somebody that is able to think that way of themselves and write those lines. It feels very Life is Strange. Feels like T-Swift has made some decisions along the way that we should have been pressing A instead of B. Had it been on my phone, I would have split the vote. Now this suggests she was trying to convince herself that she was okay not getting married because he didn't want to. T-Swift.
Dad,
what are we doing?
I'm taking Gabe to the station. We need a
drama.
first aid kit
The drama
that
is
doesn't
so
predate
real,
the
Christina.
discovery of bacteria.
It's fine. I don't need to go.
Gabe is our
Ryan
brother.
knows what he's doing now. You just go with him.
Jed is our brother's best friend, Dad.
Alex.
Ryan is our brother's
Be back
best friend.
soon, okay?
Okay.
Well, there goes my bartender and my backup bartender.
Charlotte, I'm pretty sure is our best friend's. No, is our brother's wife,
I love
fiance,
that.
girlfriend.
It's a falling
Also the
star.
mom of the kid we may have blown
Yeah.
up.
Or rising. Depends on the day, I guess.
But he's fine. I'm sure he's gonna be fine.
What's it doing today?
Rising.
Rising. For sure. First day of my new life. Oh, good. I'm glad Mac's stupidity didn't ruin everything.
It's heartbreaking, Christina. Heartbreaking.
I heard Ethan gave you an issue of his comic. He obviously thinks
Ethan
you're
is the
really cool.
kid's name. He's a great kid.
I know literally nothing about kids, but he seems like one of the good ones. I appreciate that. He's my favorite person.
I love him to pieces.
Beef pie special. Watch the gravy.
Love him to pieces.
Jed, you didn't have to.
Now, Ryan
Just wanna
said you're
smother
skipping
him.
dinner. No starving
love.
artists on my watch.
I do have to get going. I'm making some pieces for the spring festival, and
With
they have to
rocks,
be done tonight. Sorry I couldn't talk longer. Oh, that's okay. So glad you're here, Alex. I'm looking forward to getting to know you. Yeah, same. Bye. Thanks for supper.
Yep.
Supper? They say supper in Colorado? Yeah, interesting. I hope we like Maddie Healy. That's all I know, Christina. I'm sad about Joe. I'm sad about the past few years. The breakup song is definitely sounds brutal. It does feel like a 1976 song. It's actually the first song I've heard
So I'm
in this game.
short-staffed at the moment. Gabe tells me you've worked at a restaurant before.
1975.
Couple years experience as a server?
The 1976. I wonder what that one could be. Just a little bit different. Voting in progress. Do we go with Gabe's story or do we come clean? What are we feeling, folks? Do we want to be honest or do we want to roll with what people already know? So this is the first instance of audience voting. So if you're watching in the chat, I think on computer you can vote. I don't know if you can vote on your phone. I think you can, but I don't know where it is. The answer, no votes. So I get to pick. I am going to, well, I don't know what she did.
Shit.
Okay, I
I've never
wasn't going
worked
to
in
do
a
that, but that's
restaurant
fine.
before.
Never
was gonna go with the
stops
story.
that one.
But
I guess I would have made a fool of
love to
myself.
work if experience isn't an issue.
Want to give it a try? It's not too busy right now.
Hey, that worked out
And
pretty
we
well.
keep it informal around here.
Okay. Thanks.
All right. So we have a few folks that need checking on. Ducky and Diane over there. Steph over here. There's a table in the back that needs clearing also. You can give the food orders to me, and I'll handle anyone here at the bar. All right?
Got it.
It's really
Easy.
nice to have you here, Alex.
Thanks.
Easy peasy.
Guess I'm a
No,
server
I think
now.
we're applying for a job via
Let's see how this
Freelance.
goes.
My dad was in the service.
All right, we're going to start with clearing this table. Wait, was that the clearing the table? Yes, that was the clearing the table. Nope, that's a flyer. Where's the table that needs clearing? Not that one. Ooh.
Shit.
Oh, it's Mac.
Now Mac's scared.
I didn't know he was back here. So am
At
I
least
now
he's
going to be
not
scared?
freaking out anymore. He won't make me
Okay.
lose control.
So it's only painfully extreme emotions that get our attention. Where do I clear the table? Ah, the bottles. Clean them up.
Holy shit.
Can I talk to you real quick?
Yeah. Yeah, what do you want?
What do you want?
Listen, what happened upstairs was fucked up, right? From both of us.
Ooh, not the from both of us. What's your point?
Where are you going with this?
Look, Riley's headed over here. She's pretty heated. I don't think it helps to recap all the gory details, you know?
You're awful.
You really are a piece of shit.
Look, she's gonna break up with me otherwise. We've been together 4 years. She is the best thing that's ever happened to me. So please, help me out.
I don't know, man.
Shit.
Honesty's the best policy,
What the
Mac.
fuck is wrong with you? Oh my god. Look at your face.
No, it's okay.
Don't even. What were you thinking? Where's Gabe?
Why do you give a shit?
He's
Because my
immediately
boyfriend
doing it.
just got into a fight with him.
Automod
I
did
swear.
not like that.
This is it. You better have a good explanation, or we're done.
It's not my fault. I just wanted to talk to the guy.
About what?
About you!
And I can't even allow it because I don't have my mouse right now.
About why you guys are meeting behind my back.
Okay. So how did the fight happen?
The bastard sucker punched me. Okay,
Is he waiting for me to
not exactly
confide?
sucker punched, but he definitely started it.
Oh, God. Were you there too?
Well, I'm certain that a choice is coming. Voting in progress. Call it out or avoid further trouble. I would say call it out. I do like the way they put it, though. That is a real conundrum. Calling out versus not calling out is different than just avoiding. 12 seconds. The pressure's on, Mayfly. The pressure's on. Yeah, call it out. Honesty is the best policy. We don't owe him anything. One vote. We're calling it out.
Yeah, I was there. Max telling you a whole lot of bullshit.
By the way, I should say, just because this has been language written throughout, in case you do not know, we are a church and we are a family-friendly stream. Obviously, that is challenging whenever we play games that are rated mature. I will always be clean. So my commentary, my response, if I read any lines or say anything, I will be sure to bleep and blurp as needed. But the game does not have that capability. We are hopefully all adults here, at least over the age of 13 if you're on Twitch, technically by the terms of service. And so wordy dirds are just a fact of life. And I will always be family friendly, even whenever our games are not. So if that is okay with you, cool. If it is not okay, we play other games than just mature games, so you may have to tune into another stream. Thank you for understanding.
You know what? That doesn't even surprise me anymore.
Exactly.
So what really happened?
Riley.
Mac barged in, accused Gabe of sleeping with you, sucker punched him, and then kicked him while he was down.
Riley, listen.
What happened to Mac's face?
I did. Yeah! Good writing.
Good. It sounds like he deserved it. Thanks for telling me the truth, Alex.
Wait, are we okay?
Are you fucking serious? I'm so embarrassed by you right now.
But are we still together?
What do you
That's
think,
all he cares
you
about.
fucking idiot? No.
Alex Chen? Assaulting Mac Loudon on your first day here, huh?
Oh, no!
I'm Jason Pike, the deputy sheriff. I'm gonna have to take you in for questioning.
Oh, no. Oh, good. What about Mac?
Mac assaulted Gabe. He's the one you want.
That was self-defense. Is that Mac's daddy?
Your face. You should see your face. Oh, jeez.
He does look like a jerk, so I kind of
I'm
bought
only
it.
kidding. Nobody's in trouble here. Gabe and I just like to prank each other.
I've
Hilarious.
never been pranked by a cop before.
The funniest.
You definitely got me.
Thanks for being a good sport. Can I buy you a drink?
Maybe. I'm working right now.
Well, I'll be at the bar. You want one, you just come by, okay?
All we wanted was to clear a table. All I wanted to do was to clear a table of some empties. All right. Gotta take their order. Ducky and Diane. Little Diddy.
Can I get you two anything?
That Ducky and
Miss
Diane.
Chen, here at last to relieve our suspense.
Hi.
I am Reginald McAllister III,
Of course.
Ducky to friends, former entrepreneur, now retired. And this young woman is Diane.
Hey there. Nice to meet you. I didn't realize that...
That we all knew you were coming. Yes, Gabe is generous with both friendship and
Ducky is anxious, dude. Why is he like looking back and forth?
You're from Portland, right? I moved here from DC 6 months ago. How you finding the small town thing?
Whoa. Kind of perfect. I love small towns.
I didn't really know what to expect, but it's kind of perfect. It feels like a home.
I know. I really thought I would hate it. Then I saw the mountains, met some people, and now I'm never leaving.
Diane is a geologist, recently working as a process manager for Typhon Mining.
I'm glad there's another newbie around here, too.
Hey, listen, Diane.
Can I get you
Don't
anything?
explode anything
we're super hungry.
tonight.
I'd love a pie special with fries.
Cheeseburger with mushrooms, and my usual to drink. Jed will know what to do.
All right, I'll go put that order in.
Thanks.
Pie special with fries, cheeseburger, mushrooms.
My dad was in the service.
Hey, Jed.
Yeah,
I've got an order from Ducky and Diane.
Diane.
go ahead.
It is a cheeseburger with mushrooms.
1 cheeseburger with mushrooms.
Uh-huh, and?
Pie special with fries.
1 pie special with fries.
And the drink that you know.
Ducky asked for his usual?
He did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, he's fond of a particular rye whiskey. I keep a personal bottle for him. Oh, that's odd. I don't see it. Oh, now wait. I bet Ducky took that bottle upstairs last night. Yeah, he and Gabe went on carousing long after closing.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. Serves him right if you ask me, but feel free to go upstairs and look for it. I'm sure he'd be grateful.
Sure.
Oh, Deputy Pike was with them and might have some idea. If you still trust him after that prank.
I'm going to Steph first.
Typhon's not a bad company.
Alex, right?
Love interest number 1.
I'm Steph.
Hey. Just seeing if you need food or anything.
Oh no, I'm good. Thanks though. Sorry I couldn't hang out at the record store. I've got some time now though if you want to chat.
That's right, it is Pride Month. This is very appropriate. What you working on?
Is that record store inventory?
No, it's character stats. Do you know what a LARP is?
So cute together if you go that route. I don't know all the options yet because I'm still wondering if there's a third one. Remind me. I didn't hear
I've
what
heard
she
the
said.
term before.
Live action roleplay.
Oh,
It's
LARPing.
like a tabletop
Okay, I definitely would have
role-playing
known.
game, but acted out in real life. Costumes, foam weapons, beanbag spells. It's great.
There's definitely like an immediate draw to Steph because I know Steph from other games, you know? And so I think that's a boon, right? That's a good like boost forward right away. Ryan is a nerd, and so that's definitely like interesting, but I also don't really trust Ryan. There's a weird, I'm not sure about Ryan yet. And then there's a third character, maybe. There could be another love interest. If we go a la like Life is Strange 1, then there's definitely like the option of the town. And so I wonder if we're going to find either another character that maybe isn't a love interest, but is like a life interest, if you know what I'm saying. We'll see. We'll see.
Gabe was talking about a LARP with Ethan.
Yeah, it's next week. They're coming with me. It's their first time. I'm so excited. Would you ever want to join us sometime?
Yes, absolutely.
Sure, I'd try it. If you and Gabe both like it, it must be super fun.
Awesome.
It's a little nosy. A little nosy. Who are you sitting with?
So are you here with somebody? Or
That's right.
D&D, yeah, definitely
Apparently
an appealing
he ditched
factor.
me for Gabe.
they went to get first aid?
Being a hero again. Ryan's always doing that. It's a Lucan family thing. Have you heard about Jed's rescue?
The game definitely wants me to like
It was a
Ryan,
big deal. Back when he was a minor.
which
he
almost
saved-
is
Can't imagine.
more suspicious.
Alex wants an earload of Haven trivia just now.
Sorry,
They're trying
Jed.
too hard to make me like Ryan.
He doesn't like to brag, but there's stuff about it all over the place if you look.
Interesting.
Is that your shot?
Is that your shot? What is that?
This
Absinthe?
is bedazzled kiwi schnapps.
Nope.
No one's ever ordered
I guess a shot of
so
absinthe
Gabe's
would
trying
be
to get
real
rid of it
strong.
with the jukebox game.
What's a jukebox game?
It's like a short version of 20 questions where you're trying to guess a song, guess wrong, you have to take the shot. Ryan and I were going to play. You want to take his place?
Sure.
Dude, you're on.
Yes. So, I'll pick a song. You have 5 yes or no questions before you have to guess it.
Okay.
Got one. Jukebox is all yours.
Okay, how does this game work?
So, what do you want to ask me?
I should flip through these and see what might be good to ask.
Oh boy, that's a lot of songs. Oh, that's so many songs. How many options? Okay, we reached the end at least. Let's ask a question about... I get 5 questions. Cover art seems pretty notable. Oh! Okay, there are people, animal, clothing, animal, people, animal, people, art, people, animals, people, animal, people, animal, people. Debatable. Probably an animal. Nothing. Balloon people. Do balloon people count? There were very few that had the band name on it, so that could be a good way to eliminate a bunch. Let's see. I like that, because not many of them had the band name on the title.
Is the band name on the cover?
Yep.
Okay, so that helps us. So Ichthyosis, Vic Nasty, Pyrrhic, Endurance for Electronics, Joralemon, Grants McGovern, Seward's Folly, Cinder Styles, them. Those guys. Theodicus, I was saying, boo. Ampersand. I love that one, by the way. Baden, Doc, Scruffin. Okay, so we've got that narrowed it down a good bit. Song titles. Let's see what options are there. Curse word. It's 2 curse words so far. Three curse words. 4 curse words. So that's 4 that have curse words. That would eliminate another half.
So, does the song title have a curse word in it?
A curse word? Would that offend you?
That is an
Answer the
adorable way to
question.
ask.
No curse words in the title, man.
No curse words. All right, no swears, and they have the band name. So now, what does that limit us to? Ichthyosis, Vic Nasty, Pyrrhic, Joralemon, Seward's Folly. Sandra Stiles. Technically them. Theodicus. Okay, let's see. Maybe now about the band name? As a symbol, has a person's name one word? Are any of them one word? Hang on. Do any of them have symbols or one word? That's not really a name. That's not really a name. It's technically one word. Not really a name, not one word. That's definitely a name. Not one word. Not really a name. Not really a name, definitely one word. Okay, maybe we need to do one word because I'm noticing a lot of them are one word. Okay.
Is the band name only one word?
It is more than one word.
Oh, wow. Okay, that's really...
You've got 2 questions
We got
left.
options now. Okay. I need to write down some things. My brain is maxing out here. Now we've limited it pretty seriously. More than one word. Oh, whoopsie. No. More than one word. More than one word in the name. Swear word. Not in the title. More than one. No swears. What was the other one? I've already forgotten. What was the first question I asked? Oh, what was the first question I asked? Band name. Okay. Now let's go through them and limit. Ichthyosis is out. More than one name. Think of the Children is out. No band name on the cover. Vic Nasty is on. Pyrrhic, out. Endurance for Electronics, out. Juralamon, out. Grants McGovern, out. Seward's Folly is in. Sandra Stiles is in. Out. In. Out. 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 In. Out. 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 Okay, we're down to 6. So now we need to figure out what do these have in similar. Doc Scruffins has a person. Booins has people. They have a maze. People. Sort of an animal. I don't think the cover art's going to do it for us. Song title, we have Blame the Monkey Brain. Go Dottie Go. Does have punctuation in it. That's helpful. Sandra does not have punctuation. And it's just one word, right? Four words or more, maybe my next question. I have 2 more questions too. I'm gonna ask 4 words or more.
Does the song have a long title, like 4 words or more?
Yes.
What?
Interesting.
Last
4
question.
words or more.
Yeah,
Doc
all right, I
gone.
know.
Booins is in. Delics are out. Sandra Stiles, I think, is in. Wait, no, it was more than 4 words. Oh, no, wasn't it? No, I did it backwards. Oh no! I did it backwards. Let's start over. Hang on. More than 4 words. My bad. I've been doing it backward. No. Okay, Doc Scruffin is still out. Booins is also out. Man. They are in. Sandra Styles is out. Seward's Folly is out. Vic Nasty, I'm pretty sure it's 4. Blame the monkey brain. Okay, so now we're down to Vic Nasty and the Deluxe. Blame the Monkey Brain by Vic Nasty with a monkey on the cover. Or the Deluxe. So I should ask the animal question. See, I don't know if Vic Nasty is considered an animal. It is a monkey x-ray. Punctuation doesn't help us. Vic Nasty's not technically a name. Personal questions. No, that's not helpful. Any of those could be helpful, but I won't know until I try. Is an asterisk considered a symbol? I feel like an asterisk is a symbol. Don't you think? Has to be, right? Has to be considered a symbol. See, but I don't know if monkey counts. I think that asterisk definitely could count. But this is like... Is this a monkey? Is this actually an animal? Are they gonna count that as an animal? I think the asterisk, you guys. I'm gonna take a risk. I'm sorry. I'm vetoing. Wait, no, not punctuation. No. I'm sorry. I'm vetoing. Symbol.
Does the band
Wait,
name
no, they
have a
both have
symbol
symbols. I
in it?
forgot about the dollar
Like
sign.
something that's not just a letter.
No. I forgot about the dollar sign.
Yeah, it totally does.
No.
Nice.
Oh,
That's your 5.
Man, I forgot
Ready to
about
guess?
the dollar sign.
Yeah.
You didn't tell me about the
Let me
dollar
look through one
sign.
last time.
Nobody
Here's what
said
I
it,
know.
did they?
The band
Did I
name
miss
does
that?
have a symbol in it.
You did
It's
say
not
cover
a
him.
one-word band name. No curse words in the song title. The song title is at least 4 words long.
Welcome in, Perry, by the way.
The band name is on the cover.
Think that's enough to figure it out?
We'll see.
50-50 shot. I would have listened to chat if they would have mentioned the dollar signs. I'm gonna say it's this one because it's the only one that I refuse to pronounce.
Fuck. Nice one.
Profanity
SM
for the
drinking?
win. What's your profanity? All right, she's drinking the definitely not absent.
Oh. Hey. Thanks for playing. I'm really glad we did.
Me too.
That
should
feels
get
like it
back to
really
work.
progressed the story.
Okay.
I've done what Jed asked me to do.
Play
I should
bass
see
from
if he
Fran for
needs
the win.
anything else.
Okay, so we've done what I need to do. I'm definitely going to get his bottle of liquor up the stairs. Maybe. I hope Mac is not up here and is going to confront me. That'd be bad.
All right, let's see if I can find Ducky's whiskey up here.
All right. Obviously, they put it away in the kitchen because they are organized people. Walk up the stairs, had to walk back down them to walk up the stairs. Yep.
Nope. Nothing.
No! Irresponsible!
Ooh. Now I know where
Spicy
the ramen
noodle.
is.
Were those
No
boogers?
whiskey,
Was that booger cereal? No! Don't like it. Oh, liquor bottles. Boink.
This all looks
Foosball
really fancy,
champion.
but no rye whiskey.
If I were a whiskey bottle, where would I be? Nope. Nope. Hair of the dog? Hair of the dog, maybe in the bathroom? Nope. So is it not up here? That's what I was thinking, bathroom. Hair of the dog. Morning after. I don't see it being in the drawer. The drawer is far too small. Fridge? I doubt it. There's an upstairs to the upstairs? Well, I didn't know this. No. Cleaning supplies? No. Is it not up here? I feel like I've checked all the obvious locations. Couch. Is it in the couch? Did somebody put a whole fifth in the couch? They sure did. Big brain. 5 head time. Why?
Found this upstairs. In Gabe's couch?
Really?
Must have been a night.
Many thanks, Alex.
My pleasure.
My pleasure, Ducky. Can I pour you a glass?
No.
You shouldn't have to ask somebody to put in a good
Allow
word.
me.
They should just do it.
To Miss Alex Chen, a most tenacious detective.
To Alex.
Cheers.
Nice
I've
look.
done what Jed asked me to do. I should see if he needs anything else.
They didn't have to go that close to his face. All right, now I get to look around. Is there anything worth looking at? Bullet hole. What?
Is that just a hole?
No thanks. Any world-building things that truly entice me? I don't think so. I think I'm good to move on. Progress with the story. This world feels built. I don't need more building.
Are you
Hey, Jed.
finished up with everything you want to do?
Yep.
Yeah, I took care of everything you mentioned. Is there anything else you'd like me to do?
Nah, the boys should be back soon.
Wow.
Well, speak of the devil.
What timing?
How you feeling?
Not great. Not awful.
I got Alex covering for you.
For real? We need to talk. I'll be on the rooftop, okay?
Okay.
I think that's enough for today. You did great work. You'll be a damn fine addition to our team. You can't keep an injured man waiting. You better go upstairs.
Thanks.
We'll see you tomorrow.
Okay. Time to talk to Gabe.
Let's do it. Heyo! What's up, Moviga? How we doing, Movigites? What'd y'all do this morning? What were you playing? Tears of the Kingdom? We'll pause so that you guys don't get too much happening here. Moviga, welcome in. We just chilling. Podcast edit. Do you guys do that on Thursdays now? It used to always be Fridays, right? Love it. Well, welcome in, Lee, and welcome in, Raiders. Anybody else that hopped in Thanks for being here and hopping in. We are playing Life is Strange True Colors. My first time ever playing it. I love Life is Strange 1, one of my favorite games of all time. Life is Strange 2 was okay, and I missed out on this one forever, and it's just been perpetually on my backlog. So I thought we'd play it here on stream, and that's what we're doing now. If you want to stick around and join us for Life is Strange True Colors, we'd love it. For those of you that never heard of the channel, this is Checkpoint Church. We are really a church online for nerds, geeks, and gamers. I'm Nerd Pastor Nate, the pastor here of the community. And we're glad that you're here. Even if you got to hop off, that's all good. We totally understand if people have to hop off, because that is the nature of the raid. But we still want to let you know before you go that we believe 3 things to be true about every single one of you that hopped in with the raid, everybody that ever watches this channel or checks in. Whether you believe in God, don't believe in God, go to church, or don't go to church, we still believe these 3 things to be true about you. Number 1, that God loves you, like really, really loves you. Number 2, we love you, want community with you. Number 3, believe that you, yes, you matter. You are a person of sacred worth. The world is a better place. Why? Because you are in it. Thanks for being here, folks, and thanks for hopping over, and thanks, Lee, for sending your raid our way. And on Thursday, so I don't get caught off guard by an early weekend or church work, plus the podcast goes live now at 12 a.m. Friday for the early listeners. Love it. I've not even noticed. I guess I don't wake up at 12 a.m. on Friday, but it just always is kind of uploaded at some point on Friday for my my auto pull. I've listened to every episode of the Moviga podcast. I highly recommend every single one. Go listen to their whole backlog, because Movigites are wonderful and great, and we love and stand. So appreciate ya. We're going to get back into Life is Strange True Colors. Just getting ready to access. Having ready to access is the way to go. Yep. 100. For anybody that hasn't ever heard of Life is Strange True Colors, we are still in the first chapter, so things are just getting started. We're an empath, we punched our brother, and we're going to apologize. And we're in Colorado, and it's beautiful. That has not happened yet, Mayfly. How's your jaw?
How's your jaw?
We may have blown up a child. It has not been confirmed. What's up, Cam? Game is great. I solved a puzzle.
Pain bad?
Big brain. Lurking while I go shoot some product photos for the wife. Deuces,
Gabe,
Lee.
I'm really
Thanks
sorry.
for the work. Ah, yes. Popular beer. Beer brand beer. Everyone's favorite. Those cans look very small.
What?
Did you rehearse that move?
Did you rehearse that move?
No. Only in my mind. So, need a manager for your underground cage fighting career?
Gabe, I'm really sorry.
How many bones have you broken? Like, on other people?
Dude, I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to hurt you.
Don't apologize. I'm fine.
Does Gabe have superpowers too?
Now that we're talking
Does it
about
run in the family?
Guess I never realized.
I'm also the Hulk. That I can kick your butt?
That I can kick your ass?
Yeah, I guess. No, I never realized what your life must have been like. On your own.
It was fine.
Great nail color. Excellent choice.
You know, when I pulled you off the Mac and you hit me, I was angry. Then I thought about how you took him apart. Like you've done it before.
I am Batman. Didn't you go to juvie?
Didn't you go to juvie? Isn't that like prison?
Yeah. That was the hardest time of my life. Some days I didn't think I'd make it out. But I get the feeling you've been through worse. I can tell there's something going on with you. Something troubling you.
Just a reminder,
Maybe
this
it's
is
time
day
you
one.
open up.
This is day one. We've just rekindled our relationship. Day one.
I want to talk to Gabe, but what can I even say right now to explain what happened with Mac?
Day one. Oh, voting time. All right, folks. The vote is on. If you want to vote on what choice we make today, where's the voting timer? Oh no, is it turned off? Did something go wrong? No, it should still be there. All right, well, I guess I get to make this choice for us. Tell them about your past or tell them about your power. I think it'd be nice to let somebody in on our power. That worked out well for us in Life is Strange 1. They're both A, Mayfly. Yeah, power. I'm saying power. I don't know why I didn't let y'all vote, though. That's weird. They're both A! Right. Right is the one we chose.
There's something off about me. I know what other people are feeling. I can see these auras around them. And if they feel strongly enough, if they're angry,
good job picking A. I
sad,
did
or
it.
afraid, I feel it too. And then I lose control.
St. Bear, you're absolutely right.
And this has happened.
Just a motivational poster.
For a long time.
It's a T Swift lyric.
Like Mac.
Taylor
I
Swift
felt
does actually have
all that
superpowers.
anger
Canonically
like it was my
confirmed.
own.
I think it was pretty clear that Mac was angry.
Por qué no los dos?
It's more than that. He wasn't just angry at you, he's angry at himself. He thinks he's gonna lose Riley.
Well, he did. He did lose Riley.
Did Riley tell you that?
Dude, when? I love that.
No, totally. During our sleepover. Right after braiding each other's hair.
Okay. Okay.
Day one.
You sure it's not just, you know?
I like that
It's
Bighorn
not
t-shirt,
just
by
in
the
my
way.
head, Gabe. I promise. It's
I
not
kinda want that
from
t-shirt.
meds, or stress, or trauma, or whatever.
Oh, I'm wearing my Colorado t-shirt today. I didn't even realize that. I'm not a tourist.
Can you tell what I'm feeling right now?
Doesn't work like that.
It doesn't work like that. It's only when you feel really strong emotions.
Oh.
So does that mean Gabe is our Chloe?
I don't expect you to believe me. No one does.
First person we came clean to.
So you can actually feel what other people are feeling?
Colorado, where the wind blows
Yes.
gently through the plains.
You're like going inside their heart.
You'll
I
never
guess
see
I
it
am.
coming.
Dude, you have superpowers.
I'm a phantom thief. That's true. Mind palace. More like a super curse.
Getting beat up and having no friends? That's a super curse, dude.
Okay, maybe superpowers is a bit strong. It's just... I have no idea what's going on with people half the time. Charlotte's teaching me how to improve my emotional intelligence, but this is
this game was written during that
on
time,
another
huh?
level. You can get in there. I mean, that's
Working on your
really
EQ.
special.
Oh, you guys get to vote. Special or broken? This guy's not responding as well as Bella when Edward told her the same thing. If you're on, I think if you're on mobile, you can do it, but we haven't figured out how to do it yet. So if you're on a computer, you can definitely vote special or broken. Special is how I would vote. I'm with you. Five votes. Wow. 100% special. We are 100% special. Yeah, there's no sparkles.
Special.
And there's not enough blue tones on the background.
That's really your take on all this?
Totally. I mean, it's whatever you make it, right?
The special.
But it doesn't matter what's going on. I'm here for you. Don't forget that.
I've seen all of 30 minutes of Twilight, and that's enough. So I have no idea.
So, when were you going to tell me about the guitar?
Oh, shit.
I think it might be quote ad.
It was supposed to be a huge surprise.
Surprise?
Sibling moment.
Well, what do you think?
France. I love it.
I love it. Thank you so much.
Of course.
Why would I say anything else?
Welcome home. Oh, hey, dude, what's up?
Ryan.
Hey. Is
Ryan the uncertain one.
No, he was heading home.
He was, but haven't seen him in a while.
Yeah. Gabe, you really should have heard my cover.
I told him not to
Just like you
wander
heard
off.
the Kings of Leon song.
I'll find him.
Gabe, wait.
That we definitely danced to.
Earlier, when I was talking with Ethan, he told me he was hiking up the mountains to explore the old mine.
Now we're saying this?
What? Why didn't you say something?
Now?
I'm sorry.
If he actually went up there, we need to move. Now.
Okay, let's go.
This went horribly wrong. Okay, so the thing about Life is Strange games is that they only change so much. And so my hypothesis is that this would have happened either way. I think something would have happened either way. Maybe you save Ethan or don't save Ethan, and that's all fine. But No. We should not have told about it. If I had known about the explosions, if I had remembered the explosions and put them together, then maybe you would have reached him sooner if you told. See, my hypothesis was that instead of reaching him sooner, that he wouldn't have gone, or he would have run away, and Ryan would have busted down the door and been like, Ethan, ran away, and then we would have gone and saved him then. So either way, we're gonna go have to save Ethan at the end of the first chapter. So that's my theory. Yes, folks, if you missed Twig this morning, you have quite the highlight waiting you from Zando this morning. I'm going to get into Zando's gachapons. I'm going to get into Zando's movie games, and then we're going to take a 3-minute break, and we'll be back, okay? True? Is that exactly what happens, Mayfly? Because I guarantee, I have never seen it, but that would make so much sense as the alternate reaction of what happens.
Barge! And I go another gachapon, please.
Another gachapon? You go to him regardless, yep. All right. Zando, yours was the health die. So if it's a nat crit, then you get to pick a game. If it's a nat fail, I get to pick a game. Whoop. Nope. Nope. 70, it means nothing. Nothing at all. Next up, we have movie game, and then a gachapon from Trombone. Trombone, I'll go ahead and do your gachapon first. Trombone, it's also a die. This time it's an 8-sided die. So nat crit, you get to pick a game. Nat fail, I get to pick a game. It's a 5, so it means nothing. All right, and now it is time for movie game. Zando, your movie game prompt is Paul Rudd Bug meets Paul Rudd Bug. Stop it right now. Paul Rudd Bug meets Paul Rudd Bug. That's the worst. Oh, man. You're going to be pinching yourself when you get this one. All right, is there anything else that I missed in the chat before we do this movie game and then hop off? Christina said, look, it's Pride Month. I have to choose the lesbians. I mean, it is Pride. I still haven't met the third option if there is one, so the options are still there, okay? The options are still there. Xando, do you have any idea Paul Rudd meets Paul Rudd? And that you're going to be pinching yourself when you get it? I actually think I would change it if I were them. I can give you your hints if you'd like as well. I'm going to turn on some spoofy real quick while we wait. But yeah, anybody that missed Twig this morning, whenever you catch the VOD, it is not. It's worse than that, Xando. That's what I would have changed it to. I would have changed it to Paul Rudd meets Paul Rudd and wife or something, and girlfriend. I guess they're not married, whatever. Sometimes they are, sometimes they aren't. So I would have done Ant-Man and the Wasp, but instead it is Ant-Man. It is just Ant-Man. It is Ant-Man 2015 and Ant-Man 2015, which is the first time they've ever combined two movies that are the same. So I think that's bogus, but they did. Ant-Man. Oh no, you got it. It's Ant-Man. It's Ant-Man. I would have done Ant-Man and the Wasp, but you totally got it. You just added extra words. It is hilarious. Ant-Man is very fun to say in general, and so I'm on board because Ant-Man is just fun to say. But now we're going to get into our break time. Don't go anywhere. We're not gone for long. We just take a 3-minute break as streamers to try and take a healthy habit and build it into our lives, and also as chatters and viewers of the chat. Go rest your eyes, go get a snack, look away from the screen for just a second. I know that watching these things can get tiring, especially if you're at work and you're listening to us in the background. Hey, take a second and go to the snack room if you got one at work, or just get away from everything for just a second. Go look at the sun. Go touch grass, as they say. Yes, both movies were the same movie, Xando, which I call foul on. That's why I would have changed it to your answer, Ant-Man and the Wasp, to make it fair. But indeed, they were both the same movie. With that, 3 minutes. 3 minutes, and we'll be back with some more True Colors after that. See you then. Cracking noises until you end the strike. Do you guys like the cracking noise? How does it sound over the fancy microphone? That used to be how I would do the Predator. But I don't know how it sounds over the microphone. And I used to tell people that I could pop my neck like that. This is really happening at long last. I'm fed up. I can't do it anymore. Spectrum has pushed me too far. You've done too much this time, Spectrum. And you were here for it. The folks that are in the chat right now, you were here for this monumental moment where I finally am broken like the bat by Spectrum. I'm putting on my to-doist right now. Call Spectrum. All of you are here. All of you that are here right now in the chat, you're a part of this moment. You're going to get a badge that says you were a part of this moment of Checkpoint Church history. I'm not even kidding. Do it, please. Make it happen. If you know how to do it. If not, I can look into how to do it. But this is a moment. I'm calling Spectrum. I don't know what it's going to take. I don't know what the difference is going to be, but we're getting a new modem. At the very least, we're getting a new modem and a new router. And this is just absurd. My corner of the internet, and you can't have it, exterminates anyone looking in her direction. Absolutely, Trombone. Only a Dalek could do that. Oh, this is an example of what not to do. Don't be a Dalek. Be a Trombone Dalek in particular. Trombone Daleks, as you know, are notoriously generous. You are allowed to lament. If you've never heard a pastor say that before, let me assure you, you are allowed to lament. You are allowed to doubt. You are allowed to be hurt. You're allowed to be angry. But at the end of the day, whatever your prayer looks like, whether it's an angry prayer, a happy prayer, or whatever it may be, I hope that it gets to the action of entering into a relationship with Jesus Christ and with the body of Christ that is the church. That's what we're about. Oh, I thought it was 3. I thought it was 3 hits. I thought it was 3 hits, and then he was done. I thought it was 3 hits. I thought it was 3. I thought it was 3 hits. And that has been page 54 of the Mirror Mural. Welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back. All right, folks, we're getting right back into it. Waste no time because Ethan is about to get crushed into a million pieces, and we simply can't allow it. Let's go rescue the boy. Let's go rescue the boy before the bombs go off. You're in for it? Well, it's the end of the first episode, I presume, and they typically don't pull any punches. Life is Strange is known for not pulling any punches. You cried? Oh, I don't think I'll cry, but I might. Who could say? Everyone dies but Alex.
Ethan? Ethan! Come on, pick up, pick up.
Alex. This way. Wow. Been a while since I was up here.
How worried should we be?
Should I be, I don't know, freaking out right now?
In my experience, freaking out is almost never advisable.
Ryan.
Any luck?
And touch base with the safety team up at the site. They're going to
Just
postpone
don't
tonight's
know
blast
about
until we find
Ryan.
them.
Oh, at least we're not racing the clock. Hey, you good?
Charlotte's got to be losing it right now.
Hey, she's tough. Always has been. Come on, let's take a look around.
This kid. Can you imagine the shit we would have caught from Dad if we'd done anything like this?
I should have said something earlier. I didn't. I mean, when he said he was going to the old mine.
Alex, it's fine. You couldn't have known.
You couldn't have known.
It's not your fault.
You couldn't have known.
Yeah, still, though.
Unless you'd played this game before.
I'm gonna go take a look around. Let me
We're
know if you
innocent.
spot any sign of Ethan.
Gabe understands.
Sure.
Gabe forgives.
I
Gabe
didn't
forgives.
do that. How was Ethan planning to get into the mine?
Safety poster. All right, this is not a time to be looking around. Obviously not through the front door, because of course not. Can we sneak around here, or is this blocked off on purpose? Blocked off on purpose, okay. We're gonna find the entrance. Here? This looks like a nice little secret. No, that's where we came in. Okay, running around in circles. Lurk for work. See you, Perry. Perry, help us trust this Ryan when you get back.
My joyride in this will have to wait until after we found Ethan.
Oh, how could I know he didn't climb up that, you know? Well, I guess I'm just going where they go. Exploring old mines historically goes great. He's fine. It's fine.
Massive cave-in. Bunch of trapped miners. All nearly died. Jed led the whole team back to the surface.
God.
Yeah, that's the day Foreman Jed became local hero Jed. And then Typhon closed up this site, basically bought Jed the Black Lantern.
Huh.
So not only is it an old mine, it is a dangerous old mine. It is a destroyed old... Whoa.
Same logo. Okay. Okay. If the wall is an illusion...
I'll find another way in. There's the body. Hollow. Oh. Oh, okay. There's a hollow section somewhere. Okay. Interesting. Very cool.
Nothing obvious. Maybe we should...
No, I solved it.
Notice anything?
Okay, not a time to be coy. Not a time to be
No
coy.
shit.
Now we should feel guilty. not a time.
Story is about Ethan's
She should be
character
like,
breaking
I figured it
into a
out, let's go
monster
now.
stronghold
This is not a
deep
time to be like,
underground.
so I was looking at this
Sounds like a line to
comic
me.
book,
Does it show where he went?
and I couldn't help but
Sure.
notice a
The
slight
comic
similarity.
ends with the
Why don't you
monster
come
hunter
take a look
climbing the
here?
watchtower,
See this first page
which
line?
shows
No!
him where to go.
Do it! Do it! Get into
There.
it!
The silo. I bet that's the tower. That's where he went.
Yes, he climbed
You're
the
a genius.
old chutes,
Yeah.
the old coal
What did you
chutes.
find, Alex? Gabe, you want to take a crack at unlocking that gate?
I'm on it.
We should also be able to get to it through the processing building. If we can find a way in.
Let's take a look then. Okay. Ethan based his comic on this place. Maybe I should compare his drawings with other stuff in the area.
Yes, it's obviously the old hollow open gate. Come on. It's hollow.
Wait,
Yes.
so
Yes,
did Ethan?
he did.
Oh man.
Yes. Yeah. No, move it. Move it out of the way. Move it. Stop talking about it.
Think there's like a side door back there?
I don't know. You can guess there might be.
Give me a hand.
Okay.
The secret door. Okay, now we gotta get high ground. It's
You
over.
figured that out from a comic book.
We did. Do you have your
I'm gonna try to get the
passport?
lights on.
Did you get
try to
your
figure out
checks?
where Ethan went.
I must get the high ground. Must.
Ethan must have come through here. How did he get out?
I mean, it seems like a slim chance, but...
What?
I figured it out with my eyes.
But there's a couple disconnected wires in the box. A red one and a blue one.
What? What's up? What? About? Don't put this on me.
I am not making that
I'm trying to
choice
look for the
you.
higher ground.
Have you seen any action movie?
Dead crow.
Ugh. Let's hope omens aren't really a thing.
Wait, I thought there was like a dead thing in the comic. Can I pull out the comic? I can. Okay, get the higher ground. Does he just straight up climb up the steps? Oh, he just straight up climbs up the steps. Okay, well, let's go up the steps. I gotta look for the cloud serpent. That's the cloud serpent, pretty clearly.
Walking around in here, okay?
Noted.
How does he get up the steps? That's almost certainly the cloud serpent.
I think I just saw a rat. I hope it was a rat.
Ugh, me too.
Do I just have to move this big piece of sheet metal?
Ethan must have gone upstairs.
She didn't have anything to say about that one.
Pretty sure Ethan...
I'm talking about it. I'm talking about it and do it. That was exactly as loud as it would have been. Okay, cloud serpent, cloud serpent. Up another one? How do I get to the cloud serpent? Oh no, my camera! Alright, we're gonna let it rest for 3 minutes. Okay, Google, set a 3-minute timer. Let the camera sleep. Cloud Serpent! Rip camera. I don't know why my... Oh! Cloud Serpent! Cloud Serpent! No? Cloud Serpent? Cloud Serpent? Cloud Serpent! Come on! That's totally it. I don't think it's behind that door. Maybe it is. Hang on. No, there's no door. Cloud Serpent. Maybe. It is close to Cloud Serpent. Cloud Serpent! Cloud Serpent. We found it. Yeah! The greatest! Gamer. What are we doing? Why are we looking so slowly? Yeah. You gotta go out on your tippy toes.
Ethan made the jump from here to the conveyor belt?
No!
Think I'll find another way through.
Ugh. What kind of action hero are you?
Looks like Ethan climbed the conveyor belt out to the silo.
Yikes.
Not very action hero of you.
Maybe there's some way to open the door.
Not very action hero. No, I know it wasn't in the...
Okay, I'll stay out.
No, there's the door to the silo! What do you mean? You have to do it the fantasy way. I'm trying! I tried the fantasy way. I wanted to go on my tiptoes. I wanted to go on my tiptoes over the steps. But she didn't do it. She wasn't very action hero. Not action hero at all. In fact, dare I say. Door control.
Thanks for nothing, giant yellow button.
What do I do?
This thing has seen better days.
Free hugs. Hey Ryan, I know the answer, but the game won't let me do it.
I wonder how you open this thing. Is there a button around somewhere?
Is that the power up there? I gotta go right back up. That's a 3-minute timer. Maybe camera has had enough rest. Camera, have you slept well? Hey, Alex. Could you run? Could you hurry, maybe?
Kinda want to push all the buttons. Also, kinda scared to push any of the buttons.
Or maybe camera's just not coming back on. Phone?
I'm 100% sure that if I picked up the receiver, there'd be like a demon voice on the other end.
Camera clearly was like, I have not rested enough, actually. In fact, I do not feel rested
There
at all.
has to be a way to get that back door open.
Well, there also has to be a way for you to move a little quicker. Why is the camera not coming back on? Oh no. Let me go look at it. It is on. It is demonstrably on. What do you mean? Listen, camera, don't you know there's a child in trouble? Okay. Chain hoist.
Heads up!
I'm gonna see if I can activate the camera through OBS. Boink, 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 boink. Boop, boop. Yeah! Yeah, I am triggering. It's not working. Because I've been running in other scenes.
You figured out the door.
Yeah, I did.
Yeah. Turns out you gotta open it. Who knew?
Will wonders never cease?
This is the run. See, watch. This is me not holding right trigger. This is me holding right trigger. She's just not actually in that much of a hurry to save Ethan. Maybe we're the bad guy and we actually forced Ethan to do the mining. It was all our decision. That's the twist. Yep, see, this is normal. This is running. Leave. Make like a tree.
What took you so long? You never forget how to break a lock. It's like riding a bike.
Not really.
Where to next, Alex?
Oh, we were supposed to climb the conveyor belt, so we're actually not being very last action hero right now. Clearly into there. And then around down the end, around the back. Nice shot. I love when they get artsy with it.
Thanor looks out from the watchtower and spots the secret entrance to the stronghold. If we can just... There. That's where he's heading.
That's by the ravine.
Shit. Let's go.
Yeah. Let's go. Weird energy in this scene. Weird energy. I'm here for it. I'm here for the drama. I get it. I like it. I'm excited to see how it turns out. But weird energy in that whole encounter. A bit more frantic.
We close?
The blast was delayed. Oh, I didn't know that.
So.
Delayed just
Ethan!
until we get there, of course.
Ethan! Ethan!
It was delayed by exactly the 32 minutes that it takes for us to explore the one thing. Oh, Gabe called. Okay, good. Did we just see his purple aura? Are we seeing aura right now?
Ethan! Alex!
We are.
I'm scared!
Ethan, I'm
Oh,
coming
it
for you,
wasn't
buddy.
actually delayed.
Hold on.
I feel like this is a problem. I feel like they're going to try to cross at exactly the time the
Ethan?
thing's going to go off and they're going to follow through
You
that.
okay? Don't worry, we're gonna get you out of here.
There must be.
Just hang on.
His fear is so strong. If I get near it...
If only we had the paraglider.
It's no good. We're too heavy.
Shit.
Yeah, you can definitely feel the pressure of the scene.
What about me?
Alex.
What about me?
Are you sure?
I'd be crawling belly first.
Remember how I taught you how to anchor a belay? Awesome. Show me.
Whoa! Don't ruin the tension, Windows key. It's a lot of trust.
You okay?
Does it matter? Great answer. Does it really matter right now?
Doesn't really feel like that's relevant right now, to be honest.
It's relevant to me.
Oh, shut up.
Okay, well...
Not the time!
You know
Read the room, Ryan! Ryan,
look
a
at
child! A child is in a ditch on the other side of a log, bud. What are you talking about? Ryan!
Alex, can you
Not
make
the
eye contact
time.
with me?
You're relevant to me.
I'm gonna tie this rope around your waist. The other end is tied around your brother. He'll use that stump as a fulcrum. The feed rope, your direction. Follow?
So far.
Awesome. You're doing super good.
Doing super good.
Remember, slow is steady. Steady's fast. Piece of cake.
Piece of cake.
I love the biting of the nail. That's such a good anxiety cue. You better believe I'd be wrapping that mess around my shoulders, homie. I ain't making the diaper, okay?
Hang on, Ethan. I'm coming.
You got this, Alex.
1, 2.
Go back! You'll get hurt!
3, 4. Not without you.
I'm not going back without you. You're stuck with me till we're both safe.
Doing great, sis.
Tension's here.
Real close. Just a little further.
Hey,
But
Ethan?
my empathy!
I'm here to help, okay?
No! Get away!
No.
Shit.
My
It's
empathy!
too much. I have to get him to chill out. Ethan, I need you to calm down. Can you breathe for me?
I should never have come out here! I was so stupid!
Okay, hey, focus. Talk to me. You want to tell me how you got out here?
I was trying to cross to the other side. A log fell.
Oh,
That's
God,
fine.
that's so terrifying.
That's okay. Let's talk about what comes next.
He's very lucky to be alive. Gabe is our anchor. You know
Gabe's got
Gabe.
us. We're not gonna fall. He's got
See,
the other
Gabe's
end of
our
the
anchor.
rope.
No, I can't move. If I move,
You're not gonna fall, buddy.
it doesn't matter!
He's not making
Something
any
deeper
sense.
is happening
I
here.
need him to calm down.
I thought
We
Gabe
can't
is our
stay
anchor. would be
here,
a good
Ethan.
thing.
We have to.
It'll see me! If I move, it'll see me!
What's gonna see you?
You don't understand.
He's right. I don't. I can't help him if I don't understand what he's afraid of. And the only way to understand is to feel what he's feeling. Oh, fuck. I can't believe this is happening.
Tension's here. Hey?
I can do this. I can do this.
What a great time to work, Cam. I'm sure it's fine. It'll all work out. Nobody's gonna die.
Oh my god. What's happening? It's like I'm seeing the world through his eyes.
I thought I could hunt the monster, but it's hunting me.
Nobody dies in video games.
I'm not just feeling what Ethan feels. I'm seeing the world like he sees it.
So, at some point in this game, we're gonna go LARPing. Because they've mentioned it a million times. There's 5 episodes. They've already planned it. We're definitely here for a while. How are we ever gonna go from what's happening right now to just being honky-dory LARPing together in a field somewhere? That's all I'm saying. I'm confused as to how they're gonna level this out. I guess I'll try to understand his comments.
Gordon wouldn't be afraid, but he's just a story. This is real.
Nice echo effect.
I brought all this stuff. None of it will save me.
Okay. He's not afraid of the fall. He's afraid of...
A real
Can't let it see me. Can't let it see me.
He's afraid of the rift.
It can't be real. Oh, but it looks pretty fucking real.
That's quite the kneel to do on a log.
Hey, I see it too, Ethan. The monster, I see it too. And I'm just as scared as you are. But Ethan, we're safe. You know why?
That thing can't see us?
It can't see me. Bangle of vanishing, just like my Thornton.
I chose the bangle of vanishing. No, I didn't. I chose the
I
fireball.
thought that was just a story.
Hell, some stories are true.
I chose the fireball.
Like monsters. So, you're gonna hold my hand, all right? As long as you're touching me, you're safe.
Didn't I? Or did I choose the invisibility? I thought I chose the fireball. I guess if it let me say it can't see me, then I must have.
Don't look down, okay? We'll be done before you know it.
Energy in this scene, much better. It feels accurately frantic, panicky.
Keep tight on the belay, Gabe.
I mean, yeah, of course.
Not over yet. Oh god. Okay. One step
Wait,
at a
how do I
time.
look up? It said left stick, didn't it?
Alex?
Yeah, buddy?
I'm still really scared.
Me too.
Yeah. Me too. But we can do this.
Okay, I am moving.
One step at a time.
I have no idea what I'm supposed to be touching.
Okay. Do you think the log will break?
I've got you. Doesn't matter.
I don't know. But if it does, I am gonna hold on to you so tight, okay?
Okay.
Full tilt on both these control sticks. I don't know which one does the right thing, but full tilt. All right, Ryan, bud, we're close enough, homie.
Ethan.
They're good, man. Tight grip. We're close now.
Yeah, grab him. Grab her hand. I guess he's not belayed. Doesn't matter.
That's it.
Yeah.
There you go. I got you.
See, Mayfly, we did it. Everything's fine and okay and good and fine and okay. Everybody's alive and fine and good and okay, and we did it and we're good and we're fine and we're okay. Everybody's fine. Earthquake. We all know. Move. Go. Now's the time.
Gabe?
Oh, he got decked. That's not good. Oh, Ryan! Ryan. Didn't even let us try. Again, The LARPing. Just not sure. Just not sure about the LARPing. He had to choose. Why does he get to choose? Why did he get to choose? I want to make the choice. Look at that, 50-50. Okay, so this is my favorite part of Life is Strange and like Detroit Become Human and all these sorts of games. It lets you see what other people chose. So 50% of people said to keep, 50% of people said to leave, 65% of people told Riley the truth, 35% of people stayed out of it, 69% of people told Gabe about the power, 31% talked about foster care, 95% hugged Gabe. Yeah, we did. 67% encouraged Riley to be honest, 81% put sunglasses on the gnome, 44% didn't stop at the listing station, didn't have time. Alex told Ryan that Gabe was a dork. Wow, okay. We're in the minority there. I gotta turn off my camera for a second so we see the next one. Alex rocked out with Gabe on the broom guitar. If only I could have skipped that. Didn't find Gabe's folder. What? Yes, I did. Oh, I think it's because I restarted. Oh, that's a bummer. Alex expressed optimism about Haven to Charlotte. Nope. Next one, please. No, too many. Alex told Jed she's never been a server. Alex told Gabe she loves the guitar. Next one. Jed was impressed with Alex's performance. Steph lost to Alex in the jukebox game. Riley broke up with Mac. Ducky was reunited with his favorite whiskey. Who didn't let Ducky have his whiskey? He did have the knife to cut the rope, but I'm saying the game didn't let us. I'm talking on a meta level. The game didn't let us make the decision. And that in and of itself is compelling. Chapter 2, Lanterns. Let's keep it going, baby. Still not sure about the LARPing thing. Think I'd probably say no thanks to the LARP today.
I'm not big on speeches.
Brother's dead.
I've always believed that the role of the bartender...
Nominally my fault.
...is to shut up and listen. And by that measure, Gabe was the worst bartender I've ever known.
I never issued a speeding ticket to someone on a bicycle before, till he came along.
He cared so much about my admissions essay. Even though he probably couldn't spell admissions or essay.
So again, theory, Gabe was going to die no matter what. So I think that if we had warned about Ethan, Ethan would have gone anyway. He would have gotten stuck. We still would have made the delay. Still would have gotten whacked in the face with a rock. Nothing would have changed except for the fact that we didn't tell Gabe.
He booked my band to play the lantern.
See ya, Christina.
All the way from Seattle to pretty much right where I'm standing.
I can recall 14
I still see it as
specific
being
instances
dishonest.
where Gabe said
I see it as not
something
being a
that
narc.
made me laugh.
If we had realized and put two and two together.
The first was 2 years ago.
So, long story short, instead of a ticket, I ended up buying him a beer.
Gabe stood like 3 feet away, grinning like a doofus at us. I'm sure there were more people, but I only remember him.
And then he said, I know! That's why the K is silent. Then the fifth time...
He cared about everyone.
So is the mystery, why did the siren go off? Is that what the game is about?
He was the kind
now?
of guy you wanted to be around.
He was a world-class bullshitter.
He was my best friend.
All I want to say about Gabe is
You'll see who was in charge. I mean, Diane, we know, works for
he came into this bar as a stranger,
so she's suspect number 1 right now.
but he left it as family.
Unless it's going to be
Guess that's
freaking
that
Mac.
What happened to Gabe was a senseless, tragic accident. And I just wish
it
that
wasn't an accident.
Son, now is not the time.
Gabe called the mine. I gave him my sat phone to be
Yeah, it's
sure
totally Mac.
he could get through. They fucked up. And now,
But it was Ryan's sat phone.
now Gabe's dead.
That was my shift. If anyone had called, it would have gone through me.
Mm-hmm.
Nobody called.
It was Ryan's phone.
You're lying.
What if Ryan took the batteries out?
In front of Gabe's own fucking sister. Alex heard the whole thing.
Or what if, whoop, okay, voting time. He's right or not quite. He's right or not quite. What are we voting on? I don't know if he's right. I don't know. I wasn't there to hear the call. I don't like either one of these answers. A better answer would be, I don't know. But I'll go with whatever you guys vote for, obviously. Oh, he said he talked to someone? Oh, of course. Well, I don't know what it shows.
He's right.
He's right, okay.
I was there when Gabe made the call.
So does that mean
I'd like to hear what you have to say about that,
someone
Mac.
did receive the call?
I'm not saying anything.
And that someone that received the call is going to be
I
the issue.
didn't get a call. Draw your own conclusions.
I trust Mac.
All right, folks. This is an ongoing investigation.
How about we review the sequence of events? Hmm?
Well, son,
when I saw you at
innocent
the
until
record
proven
store,
guilty.
you seemed pretty eager to find Gabe. Remember why? Hmm? Another fight with Riley, maybe?
No, I don't have to take this.
Just saying. Pretty wild that you come stumbling
I
out
think
of Gabe's
Mac is
apartment with your
fiery.
face all fucked up.
Right.
And just a couple hours later, you just
But
so
I don't think Mac
happened
would kill
to miss
somebody.
the
I think
call
Mac is just
that would have
obsessed with
saved
Riley.
his life.
Look, I told
And
you
he is
there
also
was
violent.
no call to miss. Okay, maybe the call got dropped. Or shit, I mean, it's not like Gabe was Mr. Reliable all the time.
Not a good time.
Watch your mouth, Mac.
Not a good
Ryan,
time.
that's enough. Now, I'm just as eager as you to understand all this, son, but there was a time...
Bullshit, Dad. This little weasel's calling Gabe a liar at his own fucking wake.
No, I am just telling you.
Mac, I swear, if you say there was no call one more fucking time...
Stop it! Stop it now! This is not the time.
I'm sure
or
she blames
place.
herself.
We're all here for Gabe.
Oh man, Charlotte has a good therapist.
Okay, Ryan?
Or Lexapro. She calmed down so quickly.
I'm sorry. It's not... I'm just trying...
Very interesting insights into Charlotte later too. Curious. I mean, everybody's a suspect, right?
I'm
That's
not
kind of
the
the
one
point
who
of Life is
killed him.
Strange.
Aren't you, though?
Ooh, Mac, not cool.
Fuck did you just say?
Ryan, back off.
Oh, I'm just saying. I thought I heard that you were
Mac,
the one.
you shut the hell up.
No. No, go ahead. You got something to say, Mac? Let's fucking hear it.
Come on, guys. Don't make me intervene.
All right, fine. As long as we're tossing around accusations, way I hear it, you're the guy who cut the rope. Why not
That's
you?
it. Wake's over. Everyone, out.
Steph?
Alex?
Steph.
Hey.
Fuck those guys.
Yeah.
Are you okay?
We have to get this game to play through it once a week is not going to be enough. Sneaky, sneaky! You got to stick with us. Poggy Live, what's up, Bweesh? Just in time for a funeral, Bweesh. Oh, whoa, whoopsie. I will be. I don't know what I'm saying.
Not really.
Processing things?
But I will be.
It's not your job to keep it together.
Sneaky, be surprised with me. You need to be my surprised friend.
Thanks. Do you, it's messy, but do you want to come in?
Because Mayfly can't be surprised. Sure. She already knows. I need someone else to stay in the dark with me. This game is like 3 now. 2021, I think. Or do you mean Life is Strange 3? Because yeah, this is technically Life is Strange 3. True Colors. Although really, you could call it Life is Strange like 5. 4. It was a gift.
Sort of.
2 years, I think.
It was a gift.
You like the old days when you can only watch one episode a week? Well, Life is Strange used to release in chapters.
Cool.
I think this one released all at once.
Gabe would try to pop wheelies outside the record store to make me laugh. Never worked. Till he wiped out. That was hilarious.
Oh, I do like her D&D dragon necklace. That she chose for a funeral. Okay. Go back and play the first one. I don't think I finished it. We do have a full playthrough of it on our VODs
really
channel.
Wanted to do the LARP for Ethan.
Or maybe on our maybe it's on our main channel actually.
But by the end of it, he was more jazzed about it than anybody.
Wish I could have seen it.
We do have a full playthrough of Life is Strange 1. I never did Before the Storm on stream, but I'd be so down. I love Before the Storm. Great music. And again, Life is Strange 2 is just it's all right. It's all right.
We took this a year ago.
I never finished it. It could have a really good ending.
No way. I can't.
What?
He actually kept it.
Yeah, that was around where I dropped off too, Mayfly. It just didn't hook me. I didn't get it.
What a dick.
That's really sad. She's really sad about that foosball champion.
I just need a minute.
Yeah, no problem. Calm down, Alex. You're fine. You're fine. Whatever that bottle made her think of, it really messed her up. I wonder if I could help her the same way I helped Ethan.
I should say I definitely thought Gabe was going to die. It just kind of made
her
sense.
Sadness, to figure out how to help her.
He was kind of the glue that held the whole community together, you know? Shoo-shoo? Will Shoo-shoo calm her down?
Hey, Shoo-shoo. Thanks for sticking around.
I feel like Steph would like Shoo-shoo. Should I play her a song? Can you imagine a more inappropriate song to serenade someone?
Feels like 1,000,000 years since that day with Gabe. Hasn't even been a week. Same. Love that Gabe was going to be part of a LARP. Would have been fun to see. Getting dressed shouldn't be so hard.
You're the glue that holds the community together. Yeah. Notes. Alex, I'm having a small event for your brother tomorrow at 9. I'd love to have you there, but no pressure, okay? You take all the time you need. Alex, let me know if you need any groceries. I'll cover the cost.
Thanks,
Alex, I'm so sorry. Apartment's yours for as long as you need. You know where to find me if anything comes up. Jed is super cool. I sure hope Jed doesn't end up being a bad guy because, man, do I like him. But then again, hashtag spoilers for Life is Strange 1 definitely didn't hate that character. That's all I'll say to spoil
One
that
of the happiest memories I have. Thanks, Gabe.
Oh, okay, I see what she's referring to. I mean, it's obviously the bottom. Right? The spoiler is the issue, Mayfly.
Now I can find out what's really going on with Steph.
It's obviously the bottom. Or the foosball table.
Ladies
Down
and
the-
gentlemen, presenting your new foosball champion, Gabe Chen.
Oh, you're the worst. Can't believe I have to stay in this stupid town.
I think we both know you could have beat me if you really wanted to. So you're welcome.
Bullshit.
Ah. I see. Did they make a bet on whether or not she'd move away to wherever she was going to move away to?
Dude, give it up. I already
Yep.
booked a bus ticket.
Wait, hear me out. One more game. If I win, you have to stay. If you win, I'll cover the ticket.
That's why she's so
You just lost $50.
What are they called again?
Don't shit on my yard! They're amazing! Their guitarist has one arm.
Badass. Here's to your new job at the station.
Oh, didn't I tell
Radio
you?
station.
I'm not taking it. I move to Denver next week.
You what?
How's everyone's day? Doing good here, Buish. Hope your day's going okay.
Damn it, fucking overpowered blue meteor.
Aww, is your controller broken too?
We're playing until I win.
Then I'll be crashing here tonight.
I think I know enough to help her now.
I certainly do. Help?
Gabe really meant a lot to her.
Still can't believe he's gone.
Yep. He's the whole reason I'm still... I'm sorry, Alex. Don't mind me.
What? Am I supposed to do the thing? Let's talk about Blue Meteor, I guess. Try to
Wanna
distract.
Get a few matches of Dino Racer in?
It's the only one that she doesn't have too much
Could be a
emotional
nice
attachment
distraction.
No thanks.
to. Okay, wrong.
I just need a minute.
That didn't help.
Does she want to hear about the thing that's hurting her? Did I tell you my AC went out for good for 2
How about
weeks
a
and
quick
was
match?
super insufferable? My office is on the room and it's an average of 95 each afternoon until the unit was scuffed. I
Did
remember
Gabe
hearing
tell
that.
you we played?
You had a hunch.
I just had a hunch.
Yep.
Yeah? Well,
Ditto with Buish.
right.
Double down on sorry to hear that, but glad you're here.
I don't really think it's a great time. Fine.
So yeah, she did want to do the thing that made her sad. Okay, cool. Fine.
First to 5 points?
If you say so.
What? That's so many controls!
How often did you and Gabe play?
It was one of our favorite games.
Yeah!
You
The
must be
greatest!
pretty good then.
The greatest! The greatest gamer! No! No! Ha ha ha! The
You were
greatest!
in a band, right?
Gamer! Gamer! Gamer!
What'd you
Gamer!
play?
Gamer!
Drums.
Gamer! 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 Ha ha ha! The greatest.
How long did you play with them?
Too long.
I was in youth group, and since I was like 8 years old, I don't play games, okay? Look, I'm not going to disrespect her with my worst game. I'm going to give her my best game because she deserves it, all right? She deserves my best.
That's game.
Yep. Big shocker.
Oh, hey, at
No,
least
no,
you
no.
did your best.
No.
I mean, that obviously wasn't my best.
No.
It would be insulting.
I mean, this is a tough
It'd be
game.
insulting to come at her with anything other than my
skill,
best. I didn't just beat her.
And
I
let's be a
annihilated
champion.
her.
Oh, is that how it is?
It's great to play with you.
Okay. Joking aside, playing this stupid game with you is exactly
See?
what I need.
She
right
wanted
now.
the competitiveness.
You're on.
See? See? She was in it. She's in it. She wants my best game, not my worst.
I'm actually trying this time, so you better focus.
I am focusing.
Oh snap, she's so good.
Wouldn't want you to get distracted or anything.
Certainly.
She's so good. Aha! The greatest! The greatest! The greatest gamer! No, no! No!
Greatest Northwest
No.
band of all time, go.
Are you trying to distract me?
Oh, of course not.
Boom jams!
Slayer Kinney, if you were wondering.
The greatest gamer cannot be bested. See, I was totally right. She didn't want to be insulted with my worst game, guys. She wants my best game. No, no! I'm gonna annihilate again! No! Oh, that was her first point on me. Yes. I can't be beat.
Shit.
Oh, that's a win.
I was actually trying that time.
See?
Okay, wait. Let's get serious. One more game.
Oh, no.
Winner takes title of Ultimate Foosball Champion.
I don't know.
Come on. You know Gabe would be all about us playing like this.
She wants
Well,
the
then it's
competitive
settled.
nature. Come on. The flirtatious banter is everything, you guys.
This
Don't
is
even
it
act like you're not
for
here
all
for
the
it.
marbles.
So many marbles.
Definitely the kind of game you want to focus on, no matter what happens.
Totally.
No! No!
Hey, so are you into girls or what?
Both.
I'll date
That you remain
anybody,
an option.
assuming they're my type.
And I
What's
keep my
your
options
type?
open for the third one.
I'll let you know when I
No!
meet them.
Holy moly, she's decimating me! No! What is happening? Oh no, my pride! My pride is on the line! Dude, they turned up the difficulty to like level 1,000,000. Holy smokes!
Damn it. You're on to me.
She did it. Annihilated me, dude.
Oh, fucking finally!
I didn't even answer the question. There was a question that I wanted to answer.
Crumbles at last!
Now I want to know what happens if I win 3 times in a row.
Good game.
What question did I not answer? I didn't even hear it. I was so focused.
You're a much better loser than Gabe. That's no fun.
Sorry to spoil
I will
the
not
victory.
reload. I will not reload. I will not reload. Smiles. I got a smile. Man. Gabe did indeed die, Perry. We saved Ethan, and then the siren went off. The explosion
So,
happened.
what are you gonna do
Rocks
now?
came tumbling down, hit Gabe in the face. He fell into the ravine.
shit with
More
Mac.
rocks
He's
fell.
clearly lying, right?
And Ryan cut the rope. What? I keep missing things because I'm so focused on chat, you guys. This is a tough game to play with chat. Need to learn more.
I'm not
Who
sure
knows what
Mac's
that is?
deal
Oh, it's about Mac. Well,
His
I do
story
agree with that
doesn't add
sentiment.
up.
Yeah.
I don't think Mac is lying.
I do know that I need to find out exactly what happened that night. For myself and for Gabe.
I've got your back.
Mac may be lying, but I'm
matter
not buying it. I think this is well, I can't. Spoilers, man. It's so hard not to
means a
spoil
lot.
the first Life is Strange. It's so old at this
I
point,
should head
folks. It's
back
8
to
years
work.
old. Come on.
Cool.
This goes deeper, way deeper. Well, I'm sure it's going to be, I mean, deeper than anything I could probably come up with. But still,
Bye.
I think Mac is
Bye.
telling the truth. I think Mac did not get a call that night. I do believe that. I don't know how much deeper it goes beyond that, but I believe Mac got a call.
I know Gabe
Or did
made
not
that
get a call,
call.
excuse me.
But did Mac really let the blast go off just to get back at him?
No, I do not think that happened. All right, we've got exactly 7 minutes. I don't think we have time to make it to the next cutscene, so instead we're going to play Mine Haunt. I don't think we're going to play Mine Haunt because I can't figure out how. I wanted to play Mine Haunt. Are there controls I can't see? Fatal error! Oh no! Oh no! I think Life is Strange just crashed. Fatal error? Well, I guess we're not playing Mine Haunt. Hopefully it saved. Let's hope it saved. Boink. All right, we got exactly 1 achievement. Yeah, it was like, come on, you really want to play a mind game right now? You really want to play a mind game after what just happened? All right, we got exactly 1 achievement so far. I thought I could hunt the monster. Complete Chapter 1 of Life is Strange True Colors. That amazes me. We've only gotten 1 achievement after 3.5 hours of gameplay. They're all hidden achievements. So I guess it's just going to all happen whenever the exposition dump happens, huh? All right, well, I guess we'll just go ahead and raid out then. Who's live right now? Who's live? Who are we going to go raid? Let us see. Let us see. I wouldn't mind getting to lunch a little early. We haven't raided Centurnal in a while. Why not? Why don't we raid Centurnal? That'll be fun. Folks, we are Checkpoint Church, really a church. I'm Nerd Pastor Nate, really the pastor here of this community. We are live every single Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday here on twitch.tv/Checkpoint Church. Star Freckles? I don't know Star Freckles. Mondays, we are live with Pokemondays. We'll play Cassette Beasts next Monday from 1 to 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Tuesdays will be live Tuesday night. Maybe playing Street Fighter, maybe playing some more Pokemon Unite. Haven't decided yet, and that'll be from 8 to 11 p.m. at night. Thursdays, we always stream here 10 to 1 o'clock. We do Twig, we do our song schedule, and we'll be continuing True Colors until we finish it. Is that it? Is that everything? That feels like everything. I feel like that might be everything. That's my spiel. Every Sunday at 10 a.m., we have a nerdy sermon go live. This Sunday's nerdy sermon is going to be on an anime called Heavenly Delusion, trying to convince you to watch it. It's a good anime that I'm really enjoying and want you to see. And then, of course, Weesh, thank you, ! Discord in the chat. Join our Discord server community. That is where we are by far the most active. We are there every single day of the week, 24/7 all the time, getting lunch every single Wednesday together, always hanging out and doing fun stuff like that. We'll definitely be watching, I think next week Summer Fest? Is next week Summer Game Fest? Or is that the week after? It's very soon, whenever it is. We'll be watching that together on Discord, so we do stuff like that all the time. And Discord is the place to be for all the good community stuff going on there. Especially if you want to talk about Milgram, please come talk to me about Milgram. A new episode of their music video series just dropped, and I would love to talk more about it. I would love to talk more about it so much. It would make me so happy. A week from today. Okay, so we'll be watching Summer Games Fest together for sure. With that, we're going to go raid Centurnal. Playing some Valorant. Folks, we believe 3 things to be true about you here at Checkpoint Church. We believe, number 1, God loves you, like really, really loves you. Number 2, we love you. We want community with you. That's what we're doing here on Twitch, YouTube, Discord, all of our major platforms. And number 3, we believe that you, yes, you matter. You are a person of sacred worth. The world is a better place. Why? Because you are in it. Folks, with that, and until the next time that I see you, I hope that you are well. Hope you have a wonderfully blessed weekend. Hope that everything goes good for you and yours. Have a great rest of your day. If you would do me a favor, we did say you matter. That is our 3rd thing, and that is our raid message. So if you follow the channel but do not subscribe, then you have that static one that I just dropped. If you are a subscriber, then you have the animated you matter. If whenever you raid Centurnal, would you let Centurnal and her community know that they do indeed matter? And with that, until the next time, I see you. Bye-bye! Where's the stop streaming? I can't find it. There it is.